Take two. Hey! Yes, I'm Rob from HopZine. We've been live for half an hour already, but I made the poor decision not to click the thing that said private. So when all you lovely people want to join us and watch and interact, you couldn't, but now you can. So that's exciting. And feel free to share the link. That'd be nice. But for everybody watching this after the fact, it won't be important because this is just somebody who looks a bit tired, along with another 3 people who look a bit tired.
Yeah.
But we're drinking beer, and that's the exciting thing. So, we missed some right conversation in the previous half hour. We talked about, we really kind of like, we started out world's problems, essentially.
We're just talking about our favourite beer tubers.
Ah, yes. We can always talk about them. We always do. And actually, that was a question I was going to ask actually later on. So stay tuned for that. Piece of gold. But yes. So if you are Brian Mujati and you're watching now, well done, Brian. You made it. If you want to join in, Brian, you are massively more popular than us, and you are welcome to join us for a chat if you feel that way inclined on a Friday evening. It's the off season. You're not playing tomorrow, so why not drink a big bottle of that brewery beer that you're trying to sell on the Ale Tavern. If you've not bought your beer off the Ale Tavern, go on to aletavern.com, I think .com. Buy some beer.
I think I've seen a few of my videos on there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
But his videos look much better than ours anyway. Shameful, really. He's so much more of a professional than we are. So, obviously, let's go through this again. I'm drinking a can of Belgian Beaver from San Diego and Phantom Bride. It's Phantom Bride and Deftones. You missed. See, this was the best bit. I'm going to go over it again because it was golden the first time round. I made the terrible. Jake will enjoy it because he didn't see it first time round. I called it the Deftones on my video, like I'm someone's dad. The Deftones, the Linkin Park, the Limp Bizkit. I don't know.
The Eminem.
I don't know. The Eminem. Oh, no, not the Eminem. What's all that about? To tell you, I don't know what contemporary music is, because it appears that everybody who's on like big festivals is just fucking like Metallica, Green Day, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Kaiser Chiefs. That's about it, isn't it? Really. So that's my window into
the
young people are listening to.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, the Metallica.
The Green Day.
The Green Day.
that particular. There was a particular Green Day. Anyway, so what are you other two at the moment? Because Jake's very specifically positioned.
Well,
I'm on.
Just sorry, Craig.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just finishing up this Ava from First Chop out of Manchester, which is an organic hoppy blonde ale. 3.5%. It drinks like a 3.5%. Not got the biggest of bodies, but you know, I find blonde ales and golden ales to be quite dull a lot of the time. But this, you do actually get a little bit of actual hop character in this one, and you can't really tell, but it is a little bit more hazier than you would expect. So that's been nice. And the beer that I'm also drinking, another brewery out of Manchester. We're going to the Blackjack Brewery with the Double Bluff Hoppy Amber Ale, which again, not the biggest fan of amber ales because they tend to be quite boring.
Sorry, what's it called again?
That's the Double Bluff from Blackjack.
Double Bluff. I see. I do know Tom from. I know Robert, who's the main guy behind Blackjack, and known him for a while. But my friend Tom, who's one of the brewers there, and there was a hilarious advert that he did for the Co-op. You know, he's massively woodland. He's like, "Hi, I'm Tom from Blackjack Brewery." He was so bad, but hilarious because he's not that kind of person at all. He does a podcast called Being Omicron, which is fantastic and hilarious and very swearing. But he did this really kind of wooden advert for Co-op, because they did a beer for Manchester Beer Week in Blackjack. But then his podcasting partner then went and made T-shirts just with that shit on. It was very funny. But yes, I mean, Peter, when you managed to make it slightly further away from Skelmersdale,
yeah,
you can
please
enjoy
make that day soon.
all the delights of the Manchester beer scene, which is fantastic. I was in Manchester last week, which I will talk about later. Sure.
Yeah, apparently they've got around 90 breweries in Manchester now, all within like the Greater Manchester area.
All within railway arches.
Yeah, yeah.
Any good ones or?
I know a couple.
I don't know. There's this one called Cloud Rainwater, or
what's it called?
And
they put the beer in cans.
Mosaic or something like that. I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
And there's one called Tickety Boom, or I don't know.
So yeah, I mean, Tickety Boom. I don't know where they're based. Are they more like Stockport or something?
I think so.
Because there's so many Manchester. Yeah. I mean, yeah, crazy. But Beatnik's closed down, which they lasted about 3 months, I think. And so I think we've been joined by YouTube royalty. Oh, can you believe it? The viewing figures are going to go through the roof. We've actually got someone that's got over 500 subscribers. None other than the Life of Brian's exile to South Wales. Brian Mujati. Can you believe it?
Hey guys.
Hey, how you doing, Brian?
Hi, Brian.
Oh, there you go. I'm in the kitchen. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get myself a beer. I was drinking whiskey.
Cool. Excellent.
You can tell it's the off season. He's trying to keep the weight down, so he's on the whiskey instead.
No, there's nothing about weight. I'm gonna go with Tempest Mexi Cake. Have any of you guys had this? Can you guys hear me?
Not
yeah.
not that one.
That one, no. But I've heard many a good thing about it.
Yeah, it's like a spice, one of those chili spice type beers, but it's not overly spicy, which is great. I'm not a big fan of the spicy beers.
Yeah, if you've had something like Mexican cake from Westbrook, it's not a million miles off, really. Not quite as hot as something like that, but it's not a million miles off. Did a really nice job on that. And if you want to buy a bottle of Mexican cake, where would you buy it from, Brian?
LCAG.com. Oh, jeez.
Can't believe it. We've still got viewers. I thought we'd lost one of them. He's actually joined the chat. Yes. So, Jake, I mean, we've gone through everybody else. What are you drinking, my friend?
I've got Northern Monks. What the hell is it? Peach Farmhouse Ale.
I didn't have that one.
Yeah, it's just been knocking around for ages, so I thought haven't got around to reviewing it, so I never will. So I thought I'd just go for it. But it's, yeah, Ale Farm collaboration. It's pretty good. It's a peach saison.
You said craft and nonchalant. Oh, it should be around for a bit.
Yeah. Well, like a couple of months back, I did like a massive beer order, and then I just couldn't get through it. Like with the intention of reviewing them, and then it was like didn't review any of them, just drank them all. And this is like the last dregs of that massive order.
I'm all in favour of that. With my 350 plus backlog, I can happily do that. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, I've got like so many videos, so I'm trying to get through them. I've recorded so much stuff, but I can't be bothered to edit it. But I feel like I've started a trend now.
I had a week off. I just couldn't be bothered, and I was feeling slightly rough. So I was like, I've just done it.
So if you have been infused about beer reviewing, this is clearly the place to.
Like it's a great selection of reviews tonight.
It's
okay.
Fantastic viewing.
Yeah, I kind of like beer now.
Yeah, I tolerate it.
Once in a while. As long as
It's got to be. It's got to be drunk, I suppose.
That bloody murky beer.
I
See,
want
that conversation was on the hangout. What I'd unfortunately left private. Oh, we put the wheels around that one. We just sorted out the entire UK brewing scene really with that conversation.
I'm drinking this beer
Everybody
from
Green. Sorry, Craig, go on.
What is that?
Green's beer. It's a gluten-free pilsner, wheat-free. Brewed in for I keep forgetting now. For Green's beer in Stockport, we're out of Stockport. So,
but that's brewed at the Prof, so where Nicola and Tull do a big chunk of their brewing, which is weird.
So
Because, I mean, essentially anybody could go to the Prof and brew a beer, but there's no capacity because there is Nicola have got it sewn up big time. Which it leads me on to something actually. this is taking me in so many directions. I was listening to is it Yander Bates from Brasserie de la Seine, and he talked about the whole kind of situation with gypsy brewers. He called them something else quite disparaging as well. He was very disparaging about the whole kind of contract brewer, gypsy brewing. He called them fake brewers or something like that. And he was like against it all. And in Brussels, I think the Prof are kind of like Ghent, so it's not a million miles away. But there's these big international brands like Mikkeller and Tull who are brewing out of those breweries, but they're not brewing those beers. That was his big kind of like issue. It's all these kind of people developing brands but not actually brewing their own beer. So I don't know what are your general kind of like attitudes towards the whole that kind of thing? Because I think it's dying off a little bit now.
Yeah,
it was all the rage maybe like 3 years ago.
Like even Tull have got like Brus now to like at least brew properly themselves, even though it might not get far out of the restaurant. But at least they've got like a home base to brew sort of thing. But there's that documentary, I think it was from about 5 years ago with Mikkel on YouTube. And he says he's just not actually interested in brewing. Like he doesn't want to do it. Like he wants to create the recipe and see that as a finished product and like taste it. And he's like, I don't want to do the like digging out and stuff. Like someone else will do that. I just want to create the beer. But I mean, as long as the beer they produce is good, I've got no problems with how it's made.
Yeah. Same here.
As long as the beer is good, I don't think it matters.
Yeah. Yeah,
then
but obviously good subjective. But
for someone who doesn't own a brewery to be considered the best brewer is unfair to people that have gone through the effort of sourcing money to build a brewery and do all those things. And I think what's discouraging for people that go through that process of creating a brand, creating a brewery from scratch, is being sort of on the same level playing field as someone that is just emailing recipes and getting his beers in the mail and getting all the recognition. I think that part of it is incredibly unfair.
Yeah, they're not they haven't put in the same amount of effort.
Yeah.
I guess that's something that's kind of like happened maybe on the continent more than especially in the UK, because I was listening to somebody talk about it as well, because they were saying you don't have to. Obviously, there's no financial layout for kind of like the setup, premises, buying kit, which costs probably, if you're going to do a decent job of it, £150,000, probably quite a conservative estimate to get a pretty good setup. But then there's places like Poland where I think it's been a conscious thing that there is a central facility and everybody uses the same thing really. But I thought the other day on my way to work, kind of daydreaming and thinking, what if? Right, okay, I've got no experience, but what if? What if like me and like maybe like 5 mates brew independently? We kind of like set this brewery up, got a decent piece of kit, and we could just kind of independently run our breweries off of that one facility. something slightly, something kind of like, is that cooperative thing, which I think happens in like if people are like coffee roasters and things like that.
Yeah.
That's something that is often used there. You mean you've got a piece, you got a bit of kit. Everybody needs that piece of kit to fulfill their kind of like business venture.
Aren't Boundary in Ireland? Aren't they a co-op brewery? So like loads of different people brew, but they release it under the Boundary name, but it's like a co-op
really?
brewery. Yeah, and like so I think it's other like I think it is. I'm gonna have to double check my facts now.
I met guys from Boundary last year at Indie Man. I was very drunk, so nothing beyond that.
He's not talked to me since.
It's not reliable information, really.
Yeah. You just thought he worked at the co-op rather than being a.
What do you think of that Robinson's beer? It's like, no.
But see, that's a whole new world for you, isn't it, Peter?
Oh yeah.
How you return to these shows and all those terrible supermarket beers waiting for you.
Oh yeah, exclusive Goose IPA, Honkers Ale.
Ooh.
Is Honkers Ale brewed is that one of the Robinson's beers?
No.
No, it's just really common now from what I've seen in a lot of the supermarkets, which is
How
good.
many of those American beers are brewed in the UK?
Sam Adams is Boston Lager is brewed by Shepherd Neame. I know that.
Shepherd Neame, yeah.
I don't know about many others.
Shipyard by Marston's.
What about Sierra Nevada? Do they brew pale ale in the UK yet or not?
No, but they've got 2 sites in America now, aren't there? At least 2 sites. One in Carolina.
Everywhere, like in little Tesco's and Butt Crack of Wales. They must be brewing it somewhere in Europe.
No, they just make a fuckload of it in Chico.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember my friend who owns Magic Rock. I remember him going over years ago. Essentially, you can the fermenting vessels. Well, it's probably the conditioning tanks at Sierra Nevada. You can drive a truck underneath them. They are huge. If you've ever seen pictures, and this last time I saw a photograph of Chico, that was maybe like 8 years ago. And I mean, they've got their own energy cells. They've got.
I listened to
stuff.
The Brewing Network. I don't know if you guys listen to the Brewing Network. They had a whole Sierra Nevada thing.
I used to, but I haven't for a long time.
Years ago, they had a thing with with the head brewer from Sierra Nevada. I forget his name, and he was telling about how. Not Ken Grossman. Someone who works underneath him. Not a son. Not a son.
Probably Steve Drexler. Steve Drexler, I think he was the head brewer.
And they were talking about how it's like mostly solar powered, and it's the whole facility in Chico. It's like a little city of beer, really. Apparently, it's amazing. Have you been out there now? Or
no, I didn't quite get that far up. But I went to they've got at that point. I mean, this is like 5 years ago now. They had one facility outside Chico, which is a bar, kind of just outside Oakland, which I went to, which was really fun. That was really nice. Essentially, it's next to this town that essentially Pixar own. I don't know if you know about that. I mean, essentially, Pixar is based in this town, and they own everything, and everything that is ever featured in a Pixar film is in this little town. Worth going. It's fun. Lots of weird Sierra Nevada beer that you've never ever seen, and fancy grilling, fancy growler stations and all this business. Very posh.
Sounds good.
Well, I saw that Bargain Booze are getting growler stations.
Oh, well, that was nuts. Wasn't it? Brian moves from the Manchester area, and a Bargain Booze gets a growler fill.
That's amazing.
Over 300 beers.
Oh man,
it's in the beer wasteland.
I'm more in the wrong
Port Talbot. Port Talbot? Is that where you are now, Brian?
No,
Port Talbot. To divulge your secret location.
No, I'm in. I live in Neath, which is just outside Swansea. It's bad. It's really bad. Beer wise, I mean the people are great, but just beer wise, you can't even. I mean, the Wetherspoons is like the craft beer mecca, and like that. That's where it's at.
Like a lot of places.
Yeah. But to be fair, I mean, you get some decent 6-point and stuff like that compared to. But you can't even get beer on cask here. There's nothing in these.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and if there is beer on cask, I wouldn't drink it because I think most cask beer is in this part of the world.
What do you mean? This is the big thing that Britain offers to the beer world. We do it like nobody ever does. It's the unique product of these islands. That's what
wonderful clear beer. Wonderful clear beer. Oh, it's just you can't beat it.
After 2 days,
it's no good when you keep the cask. It's just it goes all cloudy and
Do you know what? What I'd like if you could get a can of beer, freezing cold glass, fill it up, and then put it on like this like thing. You press a button. It says electric charge for it. I think that'd make it much better.
Perfect pint.
That's all I'm after. That's all I ever wanted.
Yeah. It tastes horrible. I want a cold one.
We may as well address the elephant in the room because it was entertaining. We did talk that we did say privately we were going to talk about it, so we may as well. So the king of beer tube. I mean, he is the undisputed king. Chris Teltz has disappeared from the face of the earth. So by default, Simon becomes the most popular VTuber in the universe, in the multiverse.
Hello again. Welcome to another beer review.
So, and I'm sure we've all seen it. If you haven't and you're watching, please go over to Real Ale Craft Beer and watch Simon's 26-minute minor nervous breakdown. It was a wonderful, entertaining moment. And you've not watched it, Brian?
I need to go. I need to get to it.
You need to go watch that.
The last one. What was the last one? The one about the beer being 4% or something, and it being misadvertised, or he made a big.
Oh, that one's his get naked one. Yeah.
Carling, yeah.
No, he don't get naked in this one. He just gets a bit upset.
Literally put Carling in a noose.
Which is
I love those ones. I'm just like it's like watching it. You can't look away. Or the one where he's like watching.
That's why he's number one. See, none of you lot are prepared to do that, are you? Not prepared.
What?
They're getting down into your pants on video.
No.
And
He's had some classics. The one with the can on the noose. Is that the same one? The 4% one?
Yeah.
That was gold.
No, this one, Simon's essentially this is before he's left the pub where he was working, and I think he'd been having a bad time, and he vents essentially about his frustrations, and it's very entertaining.
I can't enjoy it. He needs to make more of those.
Yeah, but
I don't think he'd have a job if he kept making those videos.
Oh my god!
But yes, I do take my hat off for him for being.
For putting it out there.
For putting it out there, because often he will be quite guarded in that regard. So yeah, good on him for. If you watch this, Simon, you probably won't, but yeah, good on you, mate. Because
I'm waiting for one from Europe. Do it for the views.
When I do it, it'll be more like. Do you know? Have you seen that scene in Network? And it'll be a combination of that and is it Christine, what's she called? That woman in America.
Is that the one that topped
the brains out on
live TV?
Live TV, yeah. I think it'd be more of a combination.
You used to make videos outside, Rob. Back in the day.
Point, yeah. Got sweet out now, though.
Vintage.
Don't need to. I bought a side of the drone.
That's what got me into this whole beer thing. I was like,
being outside? Was it the outside bit that?
I think so.
The draw. Being outside in your coat.
I was like, I think I'll subscribe.
In October. Well, maybe I need to go back outside. I might pick up some subscribers.
I used to start outside a couple of years ago, and then
just in general.
Yeah, just outside.
outside for a few years.
Just outside.
Go have farm foods. See the pigeons.
Yeah. Oh, come on now. That's sort of stuff. Good stuff now. Yeah, just aimlessly walking through streets at 5 o'clock in the morning.
So anyway, what has happened to Chris Dawes? Has he just lost interest?
He's disappeared off the face of the earth. You know, one thing I respect about Chris Stelz is either dead or he's just gone, I'm just not doing it anymore. There's a lot of people who quit kind of like always post these kind of self-indulgent, I'm quitting later. But he's just gone like...
I think it's kind of cool, like just to not make any more videos. Yeah, and just not say anything and just leave everyone just hanging. I think that's pretty cool. Like it's refreshing. It's like Indus' partners.
Yeah.
Sitting in a diner, cut to a Journey song.
I mean, you don't really quit. It's not a job, is it? It's just...
No, it's just like you just stop doing it. Yeah.
Stop doing it. No.
Yeah.
I sacked him.
I retired.
You got sacked from doing your own YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Add it in your releasing schedule.
I got demoted. Got demoted.
By yourself.
When are you guys? Any of you guys gonna stop, or have you got like any of you guys got like a plan on how long you're gonna go for, or
like an exit?
Exit plan. Yeah, no.
Just if I get bored,
just enjoy it.
It's right till the wheels come off.
I do it for more kind of the not as well like an equal measure that I drink the beer and see just. But also the people you meet as well, which is, I think, it's probably a little bit better, to be honest with you.
Yes, absolutely.
Making new friends and like really good friends, and it's just really nice. I never thought that when I first started, I didn't envisage that quite a nice little community, especially in the UK, and there's a few guys in America as well. None are here today, but yeah, but I'm joking, of course. No, but
Unfortunately,
it's just
like a Paul and
Jay is live, so yeah.
Is Jay live? Oh, that's why we've only got 8 viewers. Because Jay's live, they're stealing all his viewers, all his flat earthers. if you think the earth is flat and you're a white supremacist, head over to that chat. That might be more appropriate. Not saying.
I have no idea.
Okay, so, no, nothing to do with me. It's all right. I don't drive.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know.
I did love throughout.
Just I like drinking beer.
Lovely things. Is also wearing a T-shirt which is like a pastiche of Motorhead, which says "Pisshead" on it.
Yeah.
So
I'm building up to that.
Oh, why is she saying nice things?
Innocent gun. So talking of nice things.
Oh no.
That's not the original.
Yeah, it tastes quite old.
That's,
no, it's
to me something like Jaipur. It just does absolutely nothing for me.
Jaipur, I used to
But they're like sort of like similar.
That's the bit of a difference. Jaipur and Innocent Gun are quite different.
No, they're completely different beers, but
it used to be better.
Like Jaipur is the IPA
Yeah.
of like the Innocent Gun world, if that makes sense. It's just you drink it and it's like it's slightly hoppy. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, I bought 2 bottles, the big bottles. It's only £3 a bottle. It's not too bad.
You can't say no.
But But I bought 2 bottles, one for Lee Russell's about 3 weeks ago. And
Do they make any other beers apart from
just
those
to review.
2?
It's a good.
Yeah, they do quite a lot of barrel
They
aged
make
stuff.
loads, don't they?
Yeah, I think they
More
do
for the
more of their
American-
beers for the Canadian market,
American market,
specifically.
the Canadian, yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Got a
I've only
big,
seen, I think, those 2 you see in the supermarkets, like the lighter one and the darker one. I don't know. I can't.
They do the wheat. They got a wheat beer.
Yeah, they do a lot of different barrel
I
versions.
saw
don't
that IPA recently, but
they? Yeah, there's the craft lager as well, I think, isn't there?
yeah, craft
Yeah,
lager.
they-
You get that in
They're not-
4-pack cans now.
Draft.
Yeah, they're in the Audi 4 cans
with
for
the-
about £5 or
I'll
something.
never catch up.
Yeah, with their new branding.
Yeah, I left it alone. And you got the lager and
Yeah. But apparently they're still winning awards in like the Scottish brewing industry awards and stuff like that.
Who's voting for this?
Oh, God. Your guess is as good as mine.
In Scotland, Edison got his tenants.
it just feels like
That's
it just
like
feels like
tenants.
every brewery, every beer you go for, the brewery has won an award. Every single one. Like everyone's a
Yeah.
winner almost, you know? It just doesn't
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
losers, it feels, you know, it's weird.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
came
I've-
last.
I've
You're
got
not gonna-
one
you know.
award,
Yeah.
and I've got a beer on which is a 94 on rate beer. Where's my award?
How many times you vote?
My royalties.
I should tell you.
Yeah. Good old Brewdog.
Where's my fucking awards?
Well,
Simon's joined with me. So as far as kind of
He's
beer
joined.
writers, bloggers, whatever, me and Simon are still tied at 94.
Ooh.
Everybody else is lower.
Is that the
Everybody.
is that his
Craft Beer
Like
Channel,
the world's best double
Black
IPA.
Avery, Night Red, B Brown, they're all lower.
was that his brains?
No, it was his first beer with Pinter. It wasn't
right.
Barry Island IPA. That might be like that might be like 26 on right there. But good, it should bite all over the place.
Simon, hasn't he? He's got that Don't Call Me Simon or something.
Which one?
Barry Island, is
Pinto.
that him as well?
Is it a Pinto?
Barry Island IPA. That started it all. Yeah.
How many other
Bro,
ones?
Pinto. Pinto. He's done quite a few in Poland.
He did. He's done 2 with Pinter. He did 1 with Dr. Brew. And then he's done 4 with Elijah Fjord in Denmark, in Norway.
No way,
Hoppy Simon was good. I have to say. I'm yet to post my video, but I had it last week.
I'm still waiting for one of his collab bottles so we can review it. I'm still waiting.
I've got a say something that I did in Scotland. I've got that in the fridge. It's out of date, but
Cool.
Stuart brought it back from Wales. But the William Brian, tell you can show him how to fly a drone. He didn't know what to do. Too many restrictions.
I tried to make contact with him, but he said he was busy. He said he worked at a pub or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
I was like, yeah, well, whenever.
It should be like, do you know how many views I get every time I post on a Friday? I'd be like, take that one, Mr. Real Ale Guide.
Yeah.
Real ale drone beer.
Real drone guide.
Oh, you should do.
Nah.
Hello again.
Full
I'm joking.
respect for him for using different technologies to
That's
serve
good.
us. And it works.
I did talk him off a ledge last
It
night.
does.
He was buying a.
It's a
I
great
think he was
drone.
going to buy an expensive camera yesterday. Sent me a message,
Yeah,
and they were like, "Don't think
I
you
seen,
need that one, mate."
I seen
I think a really high quality camera already.
he was on about getting the latest iPhone thing or
Yeah,
whatever it was.
like uber high res. kind of
Yeah,
thing.
so many frames per second and all this. It's like
So
people join to see what the beer you think of the beer rather than what quality they're watching it in.
there you go.
That's quite interesting. Like, why do you think people watch beer reviews?
Wow, that's like
Existential
analysing
question,
my
right
very.
Well, I sort
They
of
must,
I'm not from the UK, and I came here. My wife bought me a homebrew kit, and I started brewing beers. And I started sort of getting into supermarket beers, and then googling like Fuller's London Pride, and then I'd watch like a YouTube review, and that's how I started watching Rob's videos and just other people's videos and stuff in general. Just like I'd literally just sit there and try the same beer and see if because I knew nothing, and I'm trying to see if I can pick out the same things he's picking out. Like when the guy's smelling it, he's like, I can smell chocolate and gooseberries and all that type of shit. And I'm like, really? And I'm sort of trying to do the same thing. So that's why I watch, beer reviews, like just to see what the other person thinks about whatever it is that I might have had or that I might be having at the same time. But I don't know why. Why do you think it's people just like watching other people drinking, or?
I think they're probably just
interesting. Yeah.
just interested in beer anyway. They must be, otherwise they wouldn't sit. So straight away, a lot of people probably don't even think about going on YouTube looking for beer reviews.
Yeah, it's more kind of like, I guess there's two sides of that. It's like, why and if you still do, and why did you in the first place? I mean, as Brian said, it's more like what discovered it in a lot of ways, and I guess I was interested, and there was clearly something a little bit. There was something interesting out there, and how the fuck did I find it? It was either Joe D or Zach Avery.
Joe D.
Joe D.
Boo, 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 boo.
Yeah,
I've been on Smoke. I will tell you, that's where he got it all from. Smoke, the boom, all that business. He stole it all from.
I've been watching some of his live feeds recently.
I need to watch more of his. I haven't watched his videos in years. Joe D.
I used to love Joe D.
There's a guy called the Hopper. Did you ever watch the guy called the Hopper?
Yeah, Max. I watched Max on my way home from Magic Rock today. He was him and Zach Avery were my inspirations.
Yeah, I used to love his videos.
It's fucking brilliant.
He did one of those things.
Commented on my video. Somebody was commenting on my video that I was the British Hoppery. I was like,
I think that was me.
No fucking way.
I think I said that.
Oh, Brian. Oh, what a guy.
That's a little embarrassing. But I genuinely think that was me.
Well, there you go.
I used to love the Hoppery.
Fantastic.
And then he did like a thousand beers or something, and then he was like, "Well, what else am I going to drink?" And then I'm not.
No, he did like 200.
Didn't he?
Yeah, he did it for like a year and a half.
And whatever it was, he just stopped, and then he was like, "Oh, what else am I going to drink? I'm done," which I thought was pretty cool. I don't know why in my head it was 1,000.
Yeah, no, he didn't do many at all. I mean, Matt did like a year and a half. Yeah, he was brilliant. He was fantastic. Yeah, I mean, early doors, him, well, actually more kind of Joe D, Max Anderson, who was Beer Bike Barbecue, and he had all his content removed from YouTube, which is unfortunate. They were probably those two and Zach Avery, the ones who I discovered. But yeah, it was kind of like I had an interest. So, how do you find? I guess it's like when do you find additional information depending on the kind of person that you are? Do you read? Do you listen? Do you watch? It's you can't find your own kind of avenues into it, I guess, and I guess I'll be more interested in watching something than reading it. So, I think that's how a lot of people find somebody like Simon, because especially he's like very general reviews, like his strongest beer in the world, and a lot of supermarket beers and stuff. I think that's how a lot of people discover someone prominent like Simon.
Yeah, I think one thing I've discovered. I've not been on YouTube for a long time, but one thing I have is you have to play the game, so to speak, to get people to watch your videos. You got to do the world's strongest beer ! You know, you got to say best
But,
beer in Britain, question mark. You gotta like do that type of stuff, you know, like drunkest I've ever been, you know. Like you gotta and
clickbaiting, yeah.
and when you actually do if you actually drink a high quality beer and you just sort of sit there and talk about how great it's brewed and how wonderful everything is put together, no one gives a shit about that.
Not really. I mean, I'm not saying I've never done it. I mean, once in a while, if there's a reason for it. I've had a slightly clickbaity title.
What I'm saying is unless you don't do that thing, you're not going to get the attention. You know what I mean? If you just sit there and say, "This is a great beer, you should try it." No one's gonna. I don't know why that is.
See that you need shit like that, don't you?
Yeah, you need to give it.
So one thing that's been on my mind, which something I heard the other day, which it's a slightly serious talking point, is are we? I'm not saying just the UK in general, but just various kind of like. Actually, the UK is probably a good example of it. But are we losing our own traditional brewing identity? Because this is an interview I was listening the other week, which was that's a guy from Roger Della saying, talking about his love of beers like Harvey's Best and all this business and London Pride, and which I mean I don't have a fondness for it all, but I mean it's the whole, especially the moment that UK craft beer predominantly has been kind of like over fucking blown with kind of like murky IPA, and it's like there's not space for anything but that. So in that sense, and you could extend this to somewhere like Belgium, which I think are feeling it a little bit. Peter, you probably experienced it a little bit in Germany. Are they losing their own brewing identity and their traditions because of the especially America? I mean, that's the big influence of beer worldwide.
America's the big influence in Germany. I mean, when you do get the craft beers, it does tend to be more taking influence from America as opposed to the territories. And a lot of the breweries, I mean, Freigeist Spirkultur, Sebastian, a lot of his collaboration beers have pretty much been with American breweries. So he pretty much spends the whole year just going from city to city, state to state, doing so many collaborations. And I think what he does is being like echoed back in Germany, and like with the Stone Berlin stuff now, it's almost like cemented into like contemporary German brewing culture.
But why is that? Like, why? I mean, lagers are supposed to be clear, and they have hazy lagers now.
Yep.
Come on.
Hoppy lagers.
Double dry hopped lagers. I mean,
yeah. I've never understood why. I mean, I understand why a German craft brew would do it, because they want to be as experimental as they can. But,
IPLs.
But it's when they don't label it as like an IPL and they just like, oh, we're a craft brewery and this is our Helles lager, but there's nothing to disclaim that this is like
it's a hazy Helles. It can't be you can't. There's no such thing as a hazy Helles.
Yeah. And you drink it and it's like it's got the flavors of a pale ale.
Yeah.
But the body is a bit too weak, like a Pilsner, or not even like a full-bodied Helles. So it's like it's almost soapy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just brew a traditional Helles lager. It's just as good as what you could get from the big companies.
It seems no one does. It's like taboo to have a core range anymore. You can't just have, this is our IPA, this is our Pilsner, this is our double IPA, this is our stout, this is all, like, no one does that anymore. It's just the new beer of the week is more of a
It's definitely the culture of special releases, isn't it? There's a new release, 3 or 4 new releases like every week that are like high profile.
Yeah,
I think
And,
they do
there's
it
gotta be a
for
break.
they do it for a reason. 'Cause they just want you to keep buying pieces, and
Yeah.
I don't know if they're worried that if they have core ranges, people are going to be quite as big as the new releases. It's got to do it.
I
It's just,
don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
A
It's
lot
weird,
of
I
breweries
mean-
seem to be pumping out too much stuff, and it's just like,
But it's all the big craft breweries that are inspiring all of this, like Stones and Sierra Nevada and whatever's, they've all had historic core brands. And do Cloudwater have a core beer?
no.
They're
No,
one beer that they make nothing.
They've got no core range at all.
I know.
Although you could, like, in a roundabout way, say like the double IPA.
Double IPAs, yeah.
It's sort of like a quote unquote core beer, but it's, I don't know.
We're on version 48 by this point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it's just me, but they all taste the same to me now. It's just all just another hazy beer. And I found that, like, just because I found that if you hang on to them a while, they taste better. Strangely enough, I don't know if any of you guys have discovered that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Leave them 2 or 3 weeks, they taste better.
Like, because I got into that, that hype of watching other, like, American reviewers saying, I got a bottle of Pliny and it's 4 days old, and how it's like explosive hops and all that sort of stuff. And I find with these hazy ones, they're all very oniony and garlicky, and they taste much better when they're like a month old. But that's just, I don't know.
No, I completely agree. I had so many problems with Cloudwater beer, especially double IPAs, being just too green, too too fresh. I was privy to a conversation this evening, which I'm not going to divulge on this live, because I think it's slightly alarming. I want to tell you, I really want to tell you all, but I don't want to tell the people who are viewing. It's not.
Offline. We'll do it offline later.
Yeah.
Good, Rob.
But yeah, essentially, yeah, it's too fresh. It is too fresh, and it's green. And for me, it got to the point where like, I'll buy. I want to drink Cloudwater beer. 'Cause I think they're capable of some incredible beer. Some of the best in the country, but I'll leave it at least 2 weeks because it's too green.
I mean, it's something I picked up on. I think it was towards the ends of the versions before they broke away from that.
Yeah.
And I think me and Jake noticed it when we tried. I think it was about 6 weeks old.
Yeah.
And it was just so much better.
It could have been a different beer.
I'm so relieved it's not me. I just thought I'm just trying to be that guy that's going against the trend, but I'm so relieved that other people think this.
Yeah,
Beavertown stuff is the same. If you get that to, like, I had a couple of their things like fresh out the brewery, and it was just like they just tasted just weird. It was like they weren't bad, but it was just like too intense, too over the top. And then I had a second can, left it, and then had it again, and it was just a different beer entirely. It was so much more mellow.
And then another thing I've always worried about is why the whole craft thing sort of exploded, because we're exploring old styles and doing all these things, but it's just every beer is some sort of version of an IPA. There's no, like, do you know how hard it is to find a Doppelbock?
Oh yeah, in the UK.
It is. It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
You
just end up like buying an actual German Doppelbock because you're like, there's hardly any being. Well, I guess there are collectively quite.
No, see,
brewed,
that's a really interesting point, though. I mean, would you ever think I really want a British brewed Doppelbock?
I had one from the Lake District, which was. You'd think it was like a traditional German Doppelbock, the way they brewed it. It's like from Cumbria Classic Ales or something like that.
Probably from I think it's Coniston. I think
Yeah.
Coniston do a decent one.
It was like the Coniston Dracula, not Dracula.
But that
That's
one,
vampire.
that's thingy. Oh, Cumbria Legendary Ales, isn't it?
Yeah, Legendary.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a really good, honest, point for point Doppelbock in my opinion.
But Peter, obviously, you've been newly back in the UK. If you think I really want a Doppelbock, are you searching for a British brewed version, or do you? Would you just go and get a German one?
I'd probably, just out of interest, see what would be available from some of the English breweries, just to see how well they would try and emulate the style. But then if I wanted a Doppelbock that I know that I'd enjoy, I'd see if anyone was stocking one that I'd drink on a somewhat regular basis.
I think you've kind of summed up the whole kind of buying experience there, aren't you? Really, for the interest of the kind of the beer enthusiast, really. That if I want an American IPA, I can buy an American beer, but nowadays you don't do that. You probably buy your local brewed American hopped IPA, opposed to like once upon a time it would have been buying Rogue and Stone and Left Hand and whoever was important at that point. But now it's you go to Beavertown and Cloudwater, Magic Rock, Verdant, and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the craft beer thing has brought about almost like going back to the sort of brewing tradition. I think like craft beer has brought around like almost like a world like tradition. Like craft beer doesn't have any particular regional thing anymore. It's like everybody's like people in Sweden are brewing the sort of big double IPAs and like we're doing over here, and it's almost like it's like a world style now. Like craft beer, as opposed to like the small regional things. So I think that's where it's like a slightly different, and I like that. I like sort of experimentation and trying something.
That's what I like with craft beers: the fact that you can get like a beer that you'd think exist. It probably does exist within the realms of craft beer.
Really, yeah.
Like, do you know what really set this beer apart? If they brewed it with this ingredient. And if you do a very basic search, you're like, oh, there's 10 breweries who do this beer, and they include this ingredient in it. But I don't know, it was like, this is the first beer I've had from J.W. Lee's, who, of course, very historic, like Great Manchester Brewery. And you only really know about J.W. Lee's because of like the yeast strain that's being used. Yeah. But you very rarely hear people talking about the actual beers that they produce. And I was genuinely shocked when I found that in like my local supermarket.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I'll give that a try. And that's a good old-fashioned strong ale.
Manchester Star, that's the big one from them. Look for that one. That's
Manchester
Star. It's a stunner.
We get that down there, surprisingly.
It's a big brewery. It is a big brewery. I judged once with Michael Jones Lee. He's the archetypal tough. Yeah. He was a lovely man, but he was wearing like coloured trousers, like a bright blue blazer and like a tweed.
Yeah. It is surprising though. Some other big breweries,
speaking
regional
of tweed,
breweries, if you can't.
I'm drinking a Hopster from Tweed Brewing Company.
Tweed, how offensive can you get? Tweed Brewing Company.
Yeah.
Where are they based?
These are based in Hyde.
Is that Manchester then? Manchester area?
It's roughly in that area. And this is a 3.9% pale ale, which is single hopped, but infused with pineapple. It's
how many beers are called Hopster nowadays? Everyone's like, oh, it sounds a bit like hipster.
Yeah.
we'll brew one of those.
Hipster, yeah, wow.
There's a bottle shop opening in my town called Hopsters, and I'm fucking livid. they beat me to the punch.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm actually going to use my camera membership now.
Hopsters.
I don't know.
Can't stand it.
I think craft is just ridiculous these days. I think it's just variations of IPAs and kettle soured shit. With
Oh, I'm all the kettle soured stuff though. More kettle soured stuff.
Beers are like microwave steaks. They are all shit.
Oh, I don't know. I've had a lot from Red Church's Urban Farmhouse, and they're one of the best beers I've had this year was their they do like on skins range, and it was their plum one was just crazy. I never buy a lot of the same beer, and I brought like 3 or 4 halves of that. It was crazy.
Sorry, Jake. I had the Skins cherry last night on draft.
Oh, really? Oh, at bottle shop.
And it was you'd love that. It was a great beer.
Yeah.
Was it actual cherry though?
Well, it was redder than this. It was proper.
Yeah. They do like they call it like on skins, so they just get like the skins from the fruit and they like brew it with those. They are really good. I got the blueberry one in the fridge. I might crack that out later now. I've talked about it.
Yeah, no.
I had some when I was in London, and I was a bit disappointed. I watched the video that Johnny did on Craft Beer Channel with the guy from Urban Farmhouse, and it seemed like a really kind of like nice concept, and I was really on board. And I tried it, and it was just a bit insipid and flat and a bit blah. Really,
to be honest, I don't think I've ever had it on. Never had it on in. Like I've never had many bottles of it. I've tended to have it on draft, so I don't know if the bottles are slightly different. But
bottles are a bit shit from all accounts.
Oh really? Yeah. I haven't had any of the on skins one, but I have to give them a go.
Because conceptually, I think it sounds wonderful. I mean, I think he was he previously at Burnell or Beavertown.
Beavertown, I think, was it?
Because was it?
Yeah, I think because Beavertown brewed Echo Ale at Red Church.
Then he really okay.
Yeah.
And because they've got a big facility out of town, haven't they?
Yeah, it's not too far from.
It's where they're doing all the kind of blonde and lager and all that business, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can't arrange what they do for supermarkets. But yeah, and what was I saying? Lost my train of thought now.
Can't remember.
I'm about sour beers.
Oh yes. So this guy then. So he'd been working at Colonel at Beavertown, and then he went and spent time making wine. So he kind of brought that knowledge back to it. So
I watched that.
It sounded really good on paper. It sounded really good. Beer just wasn't great. Kind of fell a bit short, I thought. But then if you guys have had something, stuff what's kind of like been good, fair play.
Yeah, and I mean they produce a lot of different beers in that Urban Farmhouse sort of range. Is crazy the output. I don't know how long they had that in the because a lot of them
but it's not very big. It's just it's the old brewery which is in like a railway arch in kind of near Hackney.
Yeah, it's crazy. It just seems to be they're producing a new one like every week. Same as everyone else, like producing a new one every week, sort of thing. But I've not picked up many bottles, and I've got a few, but need to try a few more. See what the quality's like.
I've not tried any of those beers.
What the hell was that?
Hey?
It's some weird alarm outside. Sorry,
in the voice.
Just randomly put them in.
I have been remiss and neglected our comments. So I will go back to the point where Brian was actually commenting. So, but Average Joe, the icon of non-YouTube,
the man, the beard,
the biggest beard tuber with no videos.
Coming
so
soon.
I think this is for Jake. He says, "Sorry to hear that, Jake. My channel is going to call Hopster Beer Reviews. I guess I can't count on your sub." So and also Tom McCarthy said he has to go. So sorry, Tom, you have to go. Joe also said, "Buying Rogue. What kind of chat is this, Rob?" Joe's all over it. It's just Joe and Tom. Say anybody else. Sorry, we've been really neglectful. Everybody else who's out in the multiverse.
Yes, you have. You have, Rob.
Yeah, not average, or Thomas McCarthy. Please do comment. And even Craig commented about an hour ago. It's been Joe's been on fire as well. Why have I missed all this gold? Yep. Joe, whatever you're doing, drop it all and join us. You are clearly the most entertaining person involved in this conversation at the moment. But
that's on you.
Don't forget, he manipulates a lot of things.
He does, yes. He's very manipulative. I don't know what that means. I watched that chat and I couldn't figure it out.
That's good then. That's good.
Yes.
I can fill you in offline.
Oh, I'm sure. A bit YouTube drama.
That's a bit personal.
It's not really.
Yeah.
See, start making diss tracks soon about other beer tubers.
I'm just looking at Brian's face. He's like, I know all about YouTube drama.
I don't know anything about
he's been scared off of YouTube because of drama. It's a great shame. It's a great shame. I miss my Friday morning videos of the life of Brian.
I just ignore it. It's just, I'll wind them up. Just throw it. Say something you know they're not going to agree with, and just keep doing that. It's great.
Yeah, or just stop.
Yeah, or just yeah.
What am I going to do on a Friday morning on my way to work now, Brian? I got a 13-minute video of you.
Most of my videos, I'm subtly complaining with a big smile on my face for 10 minutes.
There's a lot of people who've made a lot of money out of essentially doing that very same thing. Larry David, Jerry Seinfeld, Matt Maron, Louis C.K. I mean, that's all they do.
Those are all my favorite people.
Exactly.
I'm so glad Curb Your Enthusiasm's on Sunday.
Oh, yes, that's going to be good. I can't wait for that.
It's going to be amazing. It's crazy that show is almost completely made up.
Yeah.
Like that's amazing. That they just come up with an idea and they just go with it.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so cringeworthy, I think.
Just that whole tickle in the anus. Just the best thing ever.
That's not the bit that I remember.
where he just tells his secretary to shut the fuck up. It's beautiful. It's genuinely beautiful.
I think sometimes he genuinely gets annoyed. Like that would be his reaction.
I could tell it's tickled you, Peter.
Yeah, I think it's just him being himself, which is incredible.
To all accounts, when you watch this Seinfeld extras on the DVD and stuff, everyone just says that is just what he's like the whole time. That's why he wasn't in it, and they got George Costanza to be his character sort of thing.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I can't wait.
They did a little kind of preview on something. I caught it on YouTube, and it's talking to all the cast apart from Larry, and they make this point out. It's like, have you seen him? We talked to him. We talked to him, but literally everybody else has been interviewed apart from Larry. He will not. He's like, no, I'm not doing it. Fuck that. I'm not doing that shit. It's like, what more do these people want from me?
Yeah.
Even another series, I ain't done it for 6 years. Fuck off.
Have you watched Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee? That Jerry Seinfeld thing?
Yeah.
There's one interview where he was saying Larry David was saying they have to force him to do Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's such a burden on him. He's got other things to do, staring out the window. He made some joke about that, how he doesn't even care about it. They made so much money.
I think life is a burden for him.
Yeah.
I have enjoyed the amount of little YouTube kind of clips that have appeared over the last couple of weeks. There has been some quality moments revisited.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have any of you watched Jerry Seinfeld's new special on Netflix?
I watched the one from how we started out.
Yeah, it's
I saw that
pretty
the
good.
other day. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was pretty good. Yeah.
It's still like so good. It's just like a craftsman at like crafting jokes. I think it's not like doesn't have to be offensive. It's just you can just
Yeah, but it's all just observational. Do you ever notice how? Yeah, type of stuff.
yeah. What's the deal?
Yeah, what's the deal?
See, I'm sure I've even shown Brian the photograph of this, but do you know I've been literally about like half a meter away from Jerry Seinfeld.
No way.
What?
Yeah. I'm sure, Brian. I'm sure one of the times we met up, I'm sure I showed you the photograph.
You didn't show me that. I would have been amazed.
I'll send you. I'll send you at some point.
I'm amazed anymore right now. I
I
love
was-
Jerry Seinfeld.
It was.
I think I've watched every episode of Seinfeld at least 7 or 8 times. There's some episodes I know word for word.
Honestly, the contest is the one that you probably watched.
Are you the master of your domain? No.
The king of the castle. The lord of the county. But yeah, he was. I was in London for work, and I was walking through Leicester Square, and they were all at the red carpet out and all this bullshit. And for B movie, I'm like, yeah.
Classic.
I wonder if Jerry will come to this. And I had a bit of time before my train, so it started fucking raining and stuff. So I'm like stood out in the rain, and he fucking turns up. Like, fucking hell. What? He talked to the guy next to me. He was like this kind of random guy on his own. I think he was very specific. Was this guy? He stood out like a sore thumb. I think he saw him as a babu kind of character.
Apparently, he's quite a mean guy. Like,
no, babu. No, Jerry, is it mean? No.
Yeah, there's some there is some famous girl. I forget her name. Taylor Swift or some. One of these blonde 20-something-year-olds came up to him and was like, "Hi Jerry," like on the red carpet, like another celebrity.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Hi Jerry, can I get a photo?" And he was like, "Nah." But go on YouTube and look for it. I forget it. If it's not Taylor, what's her name?
It'll be like Jerry Seinfeld snubs. I'm gonna look for that.
You gotta look for it.
I commend that though.
Oh
He's
yeah.
like, "Can I get a hug?" And he's like, "Nah." He's like, I'm like 62. I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah.
I think it's Keisha.
You should watch it.
Says no thanks to hug. Is that it? There is a Jerry Seinfeld says no thanks to a hug from Keisha.
I can picture it actually.
Like, on camera. It was.
No. Oh yeah. Yes, it. I wish I could play it to my dwindling viewers who were like, "We want to listen to beer talk.
We want to see this.
You're talking about a very specific American comedy."
Right.
God damn it.
This is the plan now. We start a brewery. Every beer has to be named after a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Sounds good to me.
I'm in. Costanza Pale Ale.
Yeah.
Famous sour. Oh god.
Are you just watching that video now, Robert?
Sorry, I'll send you. I'll post you the link. I've just watched it. She kind of like, he's getting interviewed and she appears behind and going, "Oh, I'm Keisha. Can I get a hug?" And he's like, no thanks, no thanks. Just post it in the sidebar. Have a look at that. He's just in the middle of a conversation. I don't blame him. Just some random woman appearing and going like.
No, but he's just apparently he's like that though. Like random people. I'm glad you didn't ask him for a picture or something. You probably would have said no.
I snapped him on my kind of like old camera phone. It's a bit blurry. Yeah. Oh yeah, blow your mind, Brian. That one.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
the thing about those pictures, like if you take a picture of a celebrity, like what are you gonna do with it? Like you put it on Facebook, no one gives a shit, really, do they?
See, Brian, are you talking from first-hand experience?
No, I'm not a celebrity. I'm just saying,
Oh, come
like,
on. Come
like
on.
my wife met George Michael at a nightclub once,
Okay.
and she took a picture with him, and he was wearing sunglasses for some reason in the dark, and, and it's all blurry and stuff. Like I can tell because I know she met him, and I know I'm looking at George Michael. I can tell it's him. But if you put that picture on Facebook, it will just look like my wife with some random middle-aged white guy. You know, you can't even tell who it is. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like I think you should just enjoy the moment and say, "Oh, here's Jerry Seinfeld. That's pretty cool," and walk away. Tell the story instead of talking about beers and annoy people in the comments.
I had my first person ask me for a selfie at Beavertown Extravaganza the other week. He asked me for a selfie. I was like, okay. I didn't Gary Seinfeld him.
Yeah. Did you apologise as well? It's like, oh no, okay.
No, I didn't turn him down. No, I said, all right. I mean, I don't take selfies. I'm forced to by my wife, but I don't take selfies myself, really.
Brian, click on the link that I just posted in the group chat at the side. If you can see it. Do you know there's
Is
like
that
a
on
chat
Facebook?
side?
What's the group chat?
Yeah, it's just like a sidebar on this Hangout. It's there.
Oh, you might be able to see it on mobile.
Oh, you're mobile.
No, I'm not. I'm on. Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Before that, you can see the picture of Jerry. Hey, if anybody else wants to see it as well.
It's amazing how everything's blurry, but he's actually quite clear.
It is. It is. Yeah. It looks like it's like one of those crazy Instagram filters. Like you try to go artisanal with it.
That was way before. That was 2008.
It's like one of your train beer pictures.
Fuck you.
I love those. Look, oh, it's in the aisle. Oh no, wait, it's weak. It's on the seat.
Difficult to keep it varied.
There's only certain locations you can do.
Oh man, likes. Do you remember the world before likes?
I'm thinking about it, but I hope you continue this conversation.
Yeah.
Because the world before like.
Oh man, just like now you have to post a picture and check like 5 minutes later. Oh, that one's doing well. Like,
like my wife's asked me before, like, why haven't I liked stuff? Like, it's like I live in the same house as you. Why am I gonna like your stuff?
my wife gets notifications if I post something on Instagram, and then she'll like it immediately, and then I don't have the same thing, so she gets annoyed that I like. Well, we're in the same picture.
I was there.
Yeah. I liked it because I was there. I was in it.
I remember this moment.
Yeah, it was 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, lol.
Oh yeah,
Emoji.
and emojis. Remember before you had to write ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Well, emojis used to be emoticons. It was never emojis. It was emoticons.
What is? At what age are you too old to be like smiley faces, all that type of shit?
People at my work do it, and they're like 60. It's like that. Like I don't even put emojis in my work emails. It's like it's fucking work to put emojis there.
Life.
We have to lay off 25% of our workforce. Sad face. Sad face and then poo emoji. It's like,
yeah.
Cat wheeling girl emoji.
Yeah. Sassy girl.
That's what I use all the time. Sassy girl. Oh, I'm going to sign off on every email next week. Sassy girl emoji.
I just find the most random ones, like the dragon head. When do you ever need to use the like dragon head?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look now. What is there? The beer one's getting a bit stagnant. There needs to be a nice Spiegel.
Do you know there is an entire set?
Tulip glass.
There's an entire set.
They need a hazy one,
but they're really shit, and no one else has got them. So
No, it never shows up.
You know, so yeah. And then they show up really big as well. It's just, no, it's bullshit. Like an entire Belgian selection, you know, like an all valve glass and stuff. But,
That's quality.
yeah, but it's fruitless.
Very niche. Very niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's niche within a niche within a niche. Well, I'm just for the people who are still interested about beer, I've just opened a can of
Oh, the new one.
Modern.
What is it?
I asked like 3 people in the brewery. You imagine Rock, which is an IPA brewing collaboration with Napa Beer from Barcelona.
Are you drinking out the can or is it in the glass?
Come on, I'm drinking out of the glass. I'm a man of refined.
You're going to finish that pour.
I'm trying to think about it. Yes. Yeah. No, I had a half. I had a half earlier. It was very nice. It's not incredible, but it's good. It's nice.
How do you do that?
It's not gonna,
How do
I do what?
You're like friends with the people at Cloudwater, and then you fucking hammer them on Twitter. You're friends with the guy at Magical, and you're hammering him now.
No. I'm not hammering them. I'm just saying that. I said it's good, but it's not incredible.
Because like I sat with you at Cloudwater, and you're like, you seem to be mates with everyone. And then on Twitter, you're like, Jesus, this JW yeast thing, this JWD yeast is pretty shit. Like,
be honest,
I'm like, how are they going to read that, Rob?
Be honest, Brian. Just be honest. Honest beer reviews. Honest beer reviews. It's an honest beer, independent, honest beer review.
Yeah, we are an independent channel.
We're not coerced in any way.
Yeah.
We are.
Free beer.
I'm always just like, I find myself saying, whoa.
No, I'm not slagging anybody off. I'm saying it's good. I bought 3 cans. I specifically went over to Huddersfield today. Bought 3 cans of this and 2 cans of the Cherry Coke Berliner device, and a couple of hours while over there. And so yeah, it's good.
All these Berliner Weisses.
What?
Who's drinking all these Berliner Weisses?
I don't think anybody really.
Gozers. That was horrible.
Jake, I think.
It's just me, I think. That's fine. I'll have them. Everyone else can have their IPAs and stuff. I'll have the Gozers.
But obviously, everyone loves them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be making them.
Well, Brian, you are a realtor.
What?
You've got a shop. You're in my shop. You should know what people are selling. You should be analysing your stats and
I sell beers
online.
On a sort of, I'm a minor player in the league, so like I refuse to stock black IPAs out of principle.
Oh really?
Because I think they're shit.
Somebody around the shop out of principle.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I'm not a black IPA fan.
I like black IPA.
I ordered a black IPA by accident. But
which one was it?
The Roosters coffee black IPA or something. I don't know.
Another good one?
I don't know. I just don't care for it. Cascadian Dark Ale.
I like it black IPA. Stone sublimely self-righteous. What a fantastic beer. Sublimely self-righteous from Stone. Love it. I think Craig's going on to the chili beer. He's trying to alert us to that fact.
What was that, Craig?
It's
Is that like one of those gimmick beers, or is it a craft beer?
They're all gimmick
it's not
beers.
a craft. It's not a craft. It's not a craft beer.
The cynical voice of the ale tavern.
It's here we go. It's
cool.
that.
Where did you get that?
I was going through one of my books and I noticed it. I was like, well, that sounds really interesting. Just for something different, out of the box kind of beer. And I had a quick look online. It was at Beers of Europe, and I've got one of my friends goes like every week because he's
Oh.
And I said, can you get hold of this beer for us? He's like, yeah, no problem. And he'd actually had it. He goes, oh, it's really got a bit of a kick to it. It's actually got, as I said, it's actually got a chili. That's not a caterpillar.
It's in the bottle.
Yeah, so it's like something different, just for and it's actually not too bad if you like kind of salsa.
Drinking salsa.
Yeah,
Salsa beer?
yeah. If you like salsa, it's that kind of thing. It's got that kind of
I
like.
think people just like to say salsa.
Yeah, says you, but no, but it's just kind of like.
Come on, that was a niche Seinfeld joke.
It's,
Oh, you bastards. Leaving it hanging out there.
I think it's hot off the press, but I'm not sure. But yeah. Yeah, it's all right. It's not too bad.
Going slightly off topic, I wanted to ask something. I've been getting in these eBay bidding wars for Thomas Hardy ale.
Okay.
Have you had any?
Yes.
Are they any good?
How old?
I almost bought one that was a 1988,
Okay.
which sounds crazy.
How much
That's like before you were born, Brian.
How much was it? How much did it go up to? Or
It got up to my max bid was 30 quid. I think it went to like 38 or something.
No, it's not worth that. All beers, especially those beers, they've all got a similar taste. The taste of decay in a lot of ways. The new taste, they're very musty, slightly sherry-like, especially the beers that are quite strong. I wish Harry was here. He's got a load of old shit beer, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's trying to get rid of it now. He bought it and he's trying to get rid of it.
I'm not
No.
I'm not that particularly old beers like I don't know, like when do they open Stone? 95?
No, is it 20 years ago since Stone opened?
I think it's 20. Yeah, I think they just had their.
Yeah, I remember there being a thing recently.
I'd be curious to try like the first Russian Imperial Stout or the first Old Guardian or something. Like I've not really had like really old craft beers to see what they're like, because why I've been going after these Tom Hardy ales is because when I lived in France,
It's not Tom Hardy. It's not the guy who played Bane. It's not. Don't get confused.
It's not Laurel. Not Laurel.
But anyway, when I lived in Paris, the guy that employed me, I guess, he had a couple of chateaus and stuff, and we'd go to these things and drink wines from like the 60s and like the 70s. And I'm not even a wine guy, but you could taste that there was something pretty cool about. There was this age character that you got from the wines that was really interesting, and I've never really had that in beer, and I was wondering if maybe any of you guys have had like really old beers and what that's like.
I've not had really old beers at all. Probably 3 or 4 years, maybe the longest.
Really?
Yeah, not very old at all.
All right. Yeah, there's a taste to old beer. Fucking hell, I think the one I had was the King Charles beer, which is at the point of drinking was about 80 years old.
Wow.
And it was.
What ABV was it?
I became very ill that night, and it was so they put the corkscrew in it. It's quite a big bottle, like a molded bottle, I guess, a blown bottle with like embossed kind of like text on it and stuff. Put the cork in it, and pull it out, and it just shredded the cork. So essentially, it was poured through the hole in the decrepit piece of cork.
Oh wow!
And it was that was at the end of a very long night of kind of like sharing bottles. So that was the oldest one I've had. But I mean, I've had like a 1980 bottle of Courage Russian Imperial Stout brewed by John Smith's.
Wow.
My mate Ian's got loads of really old stuff. What did he fucking bring? I mean, if you were to go kind of craft, my mate Ian brought out a bottle of the very first bottling of Dogfish 120 a minute, which was in a 750 cork and cage. It's still in the bar in Bradford where we shared it. So yeah, which was handed to him by Sam Calagione at the the Great British Beer Festival.
We should
So
go
my
to-
mate
Wow.
working at on the foreign beer bar in GBBF in the late 80s when it was just a table, and then so he's been given things over the years, lots of crazy stuff. But yeah, so we shared that, but that just tasted like port, like Cavassier or something. It was just like boozy and sweet, and
Malt.
so that was probably like a 15-year-old bottle of 120 minute.
A malty mess.
Yeah, it was just sweet and boozy.
Yeah.
But it was quite,
Like a barley wine, almost.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, like somewhere between a barley wine and a liqueur. But a unique experience.
And then if you guys got like a cellar, because I usually just I try to keep beers, but I drink them all.
That's not a good model for someone who's got a bottle shop. I just try to keep stuff. I just drink them all.
But yeah, I've got a case of parabolas that I'm gonna try to hang on to for
a case.
I'm gonna try to, because I've seen guys do like verticals, and like this is the 2016, and if I can find it every year, it'd be cool to have like maybe 5 or 6 of those and see what they're like. But I think I'll be safe with the case. I might be able to hang on to it if it's the case. 1 or 2, maybe not.
I've got a bunch of stuff I've held on to, but the only vertical I've got like 6 years worth of Bigfoot.
Yeah, Bigfoot. Yeah, I was gonna say.
But because it used to be really cheap and we'd get it really regular, but then we stopped getting it in the UK, and it balls it all up. Really, so I've got maybe like going back to like maybe 2009 or 2010, probably 2009. Two bottles for each year. I've still got them, but it used to be like £2.50. But then last time I bought them, it was like £5 a go. So it kind of balls it all up. Can you believe it? It's average Joe. Can you believe it? Holy smokes!
What's going on, fellas?
Very good. How are you? Joe, can you jump off the hangout? We've lost a viewer.
You're probably going to get some downvotes. I am the corrupter and master manipulator of BeerTube at this point in time in my career of not having a channel.
What do you mean by that, Joe?
I don't even know what I mean by that.
I don't even know. I literally don't know what you mean.
And when Peter comes back, you ask him. He's got all the
asked
deets
him,
on
he
the
did tell us.
Yeah, the BeerTube drama runs and bounds, and Peter's deep in there.
I didn't think it existed. I didn't think YouTube drama existed anymore.
I didn't think so either. Apparently, I'm wrong.
What has Lee Russell done now?
I don't. It's not actually on Lee this time, believe it or not.
That's on Lee.
Chris Peters.
I don't think Chris Peters could start drama if he even tried.
Shall we invite Chris Peters and shake this motherfucker up?
Yes.
No.
Jake, you know you want to.
See,
I do,
Brian's
but
just massively baffled. It's like,
In fairness,
who is this Chris Peters guy we're talking about?
he'd be the best out of the poor options, I think.
Jake,
Brian, I will send you a link to Chris Peters' channel. You will be massively entertained.
beyond belief.
Beyond belief.
Literally,
Get
yeah.
the bleach ready.
It is beyond belief. It is nuts.
I mean,
Send it now.
every single person here learned how to store their barley wines from Chris Peters.
Oh, superb. Yeah, indeed, we did.
9-month limit, by the way. Anything over that?
Yeah.
Playing with fire.
I didn't know you could age them until we said.
He's wonderful. He's unbelievable.
I learned that mimosa fruits exist, so that's a plus. You learn something new.
Mimosa.
And of course, the pickle palate cleanser.
Yeah, who needs water, crackers, and bread when you got dill pickles with garlic?
Dill pickles, exactly. Brilliant. It works. I've seen it on other reviews as well. We're in the basement. Just proved it.
Mm-hmm. Try it sometimes. Nothing like just drinking vinegar to cleanse your palate.
Yeah, just to strip away all the taste buds.
Yeah, in fact, don't even eat the pickles. Just drink the brine. You're good to go.
Lads, my missus has had enough. I need to sign off. It's been great.
Okay.
Nice to meet you all.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Brian.
Nice to meet you, Brian.
Have a
Yeah,
good
Nice
night.
meeting you for 45 seconds, Brian. Have a good one.
Yeah, stop drinking Navy beers. Stop drinking potato sours. Or do mules. Till next time.
To those who wishes well.
To those who wishes well, and those who don't, go to hell. That's a Seinfeld joke.
Hey.
Cool.
There you go.
I'm on that at the moment.
That's the most. There you go. That's the most popular YouTube person you'll ever find on this chat.
Seems like I've never met Brian before. Seems like a real good guy.
Yeah,
He's Brian's an international rugby player.
Oh, really?
Right.
Yeah, but he also has.
Didn't know.
Yeah. Really.
That's awesome.
So yeah, if you go on YouTube, search for Life of Brian, you get a lot of Monty Python, but Life of Brian. I'll send you a link. I'll send you links later. He's great.
Life
it's
it's
essentially,
rugby, and then you probably.
Yeah, you probably yeah. So it's essentially it's a vlog of him doing barbecue, being a rugby player, being a
Sign me up as a
bodybuilder.
fat man. Fat man, sign me up for the barbecue right now.
Yeah.
Just want to see the barbecue.
Sorry. That was a bit fucking that.
His
That
life
did.
was around the world.
I came across them because I was looking at my YouTube analytics, and I
See,
had.
we've lost viewers now. Brian's gone. It's like
Oh,
Okay.
we've just got us now. We're not
Right,
international
fine,
rugby players.
I don't want to tell you guys, but I had 4 accounts open. 4 accounts.
Yeah, I had it
Oh.
playing in the background, but I cancelled it.
Yeah, well, it did wonders for my self-esteem. So thank you.
That's cool.
No problem.
We
That's
had
why
one
I'm here.
of people anyway.
That's why I'm here. To only corrupt and boost self-esteem. That's what I do.
I love that Brian signed off that
Yeah.
it was you're like my wife signed it up.
Yeah. I appreciate the 45 seconds I had with the man. It was nice. Maybe a minute, maybe a full minute. It was good times.
He's a good guy. Yes.
What happened to Peter?
Nice bloke.
Doing a review.
He's doing a
Wow.
review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time,
I-
Peter, in the middle.
Talking of Peter's, I did invite the YouTube mega icon that is Peter.
The master of
He
hobbits.
was out for dinner, and he said depending on when he got home, he might join us. So.
He looked at the panel. He thought. Nah.
Peter's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
He saw me and was like, we don't need any more drama. We got the corruptor here, the master manipulator.
He is a big deal.
All right. Okay. Sorry.
I invited Mitch as well, but she's probably at work over in Portland at the moment.
Yeah,
Shooting, TV shows.
Yeah,
That was brilliant. I thought I'd watch it if it was a thing.
I'd watch it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I watch a lot of that kind of thing on YouTube, like Munchies
very
and
Vice.
Zaga. And, yeah. Much better than that
Just
bullshit
go
that
for
was on Vice. Thanks for that,
Yeah,
Craig.
exactly,
Don't
yeah.
take your microphone.
Yeah.
What the?
But yeah, compared with what that nonsense that they had on Vice.
I couldn't even. I watched half an episode and I was like, "This is madness." I thought it was an advert. It reminded me it was like an advert.
What's her name? I can't remember her name. She's from Golden Road.
Golden Road, yeah, which is
Los
maybe in
Angeles?
bed, isn't it?
It
Golden
is, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yes. It's the high end.
yeah, the high
high
end. They've also got a brilliant video with all of those where it's us against wines and spirits.
Yes.
Did you guys see the news about the potential that Sam Adams might get bought out by, say, BNBev next year, potentially?
Yeah, I find that a bit strange because they're pretty big anyway, aren't they?
Boston Beer Company is like basically macro at this point. The only reason they're not is they keep on getting the increase to be a part of the craft beer scene. It's like, I don't know, just, you know.
The Brewers Association keep moving that kind of like bar, don't they?
Yeah.
They're like, we got to keep them
They're
craft.
gonna shit fit.
Yeah, and you know, I do like some Sam Adams stuff, to be honest with you. Like their Oktoberfest is released every year. For an American brewed Oktoberfest, it's pretty damn good. And some of their special releases are good and stuff. People give them a lot of shit. I mean, they are what they are nowadays. They are a great beginner brewery for a lot of people getting into craft beer. In the States, they're cheap. You can buy a lot of their mix packs, a lot of their beers cheap, and get to know styles. Not the best in each style, but you get to know styles and not spend an arm and a leg. They get a lot of, I feel like, unfair I don't know, they just get a bad rep, and they shouldn't. But they're basically macro at this point. I mean,
Yeah, we got a bunch of there. Is it the Barrel Room kind of beers? We got a bunch of them. Like I don't know if it was last year or the year before. Yeah, we've got a bunch of them. We got the quad, the triple.
Yeah, I mean, I always have a soft spot in my heart for some of their mix packs that they do, like their fall and winter. They have a couple, like they have Old Fezziwig, which is basically just like a winter warmer they do that's only released in that pack because, why would you release a popular beer in like 6 packs for people to buy? Let's buy the mix pack with 3 Boston lagers and 3 winter lagers. No, I don't. I mean, it's dumb.
So the chocolate Moco, did that always appear in that box as well?
Yeah, they used to release it in like 750s, and then they were like, you know what? Let's make it 2 per winter pack and not release it separately to make people pay $15 for 2 355s. I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
See, that's a beer I know from Greg's beer reviews. Was
there a date on the bottle? Was the question?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Chaps my ass.
It wasn't an actual date. It's a notch on the side. It's a notch on the side that says March.
What's this? Sam Adams.
Is
Talking about, yeah.
Is it March 1st or is it March 28th? I have no idea. Got to date it, guys.
Peter's leaning to the mic and you.
Clown shoes.
Clown shoes.
I'm not comfortable saying
in the fridge today.
Someone who's not beer tuned, somebody who's just a viewer, and somebody local to me, told me maybe a year ago that Greg had come out on his YouTube channel and said he was dying. So I spent a load of time trying to go through one of Greg's videos to try and figure out where he said this.
He had a problem with his knee.
Yeah.
And then one of his subscribers apparently sent up a FundMe page for him.
All right.
One hand you have knee issues, and the other hand you have dying. I don't. Yeah. Unless you have like a serious infection, I don't see how they
because I
interact with one another.
It was like opening like a gun shop.
Just doesn't make sense.
In fairness, I think his. So,
I see what you did there, Craig. Craig with the dad jokes. That's what I'm talking about.
Bob Marley died from cancer that started in his big toe.
Oh.
He did.
I thought that's a crap joke.
You just compared Bob Marley to Greg's beer reviews. I'm not sure what's happening in an alternate universe.
Well, I'm just saying you could have a bad knee problem.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It could be an infection. Yeah. Something could happen. But
it's spread from the toe or something. I don't know. It's.
I will say.
I don't know.
I will say, watching this for a while, it pains me that anyone brought up Innocent Gun at any point. I don't know. I think it was Craig, but that's on you, Craig. Mostly on you.
You brought up on a chat basically around a load of Canadians. I thought they'd be the ones talking about Innocent Gun.
Yeah. No, it is pretty much like a Canadian brand.
I mentioned it in the review, and yeah, I was going to review it like beginning of last year, and then I should have reviewed it because it was 6 months of the day, and it tastes exactly the same.
Yeah, you aged it longer than they actually aged it.
Yeah, I posted in the comments. Peter was like,
more than 77 days.
Peter referred to it as the Innocent Gun world, and I said, by that, do you mean Canada? Because that's basically Innocent Gun's world at this point. And then they age it like 37 days in their Okerator, and they're like, oh, barrel aged. Oh my God, for 37 days? Let's do flips. Make backflips.
Yeah. Good old Canada.
Yeah.
I like the term Okerator.
The Okerator, I'm like,
yeah, so you don't actually barrel age it then? No.
we couldn't get enough barrels, so we just developed the Okerator, and it just oaks the shit out of it. It rates it. Well, I don't understand. Like an Okerator?
Is that not just a vessel with oak chips or something?
Yeah, pretty much.
They just pour the beer through
it's a beer now that I've done a panel review and a review. That's it, done.
Slight step up from just a homebrew there, Peter. You know, they make it classy. They got to make it classy.
It's another one out of the way. Goodbye.
Yeah, we're gonna go for the 1,000 next year.
Yeah, that's that. I was talking to Jake about this. Trying 1,000 different beers in a calendar year. Not tasters, like proper beers, you know.
Oh, I'll have to do tasters. I can't do. I won't be able to do 1,000 proper beers.
I'm not pints.
Craig now.
Craig,
We're talking.
Craig can easily. Well, I'll have to do tasters.
Craig hits about 15 out in a single hangout, so he's up for the challenge.
Yeah.
Just something, you know. I mean, just for a laugh.
Now, are these all beers you have to review?
What I'll do, Craig, is just have a sip of every one you have, and I'll be like, yeah, I did 1,000 too.
That doesn't count.
Those are like the cheaters at festivals that go on Untapped, and they have like 78 beers, and you're like, how did you drink 78 beers in 3 hours?
But when I do drink, you just be like quite a few in one go, and then have a little time off to recover, and then just go again.
You have to average about 3 a day.
Yeah, are you a fan of your liver at all?
It regenerates. It's the only organ that regenerates.
Yeah, I mean, little damage, see what happens, figure it out later.
Yeah.
I give it a few days and then drink lots of water and it replenishes itself and then you just carry on.
If it acts up, just smack it a couple times. I'm sure it'll get in working order real quick.
No, it'll be low ABV beers, so key.
Just what you need to do is just stock up on Bud Light.
Yeah.
And you're good to go. You can get that 1,000.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be 1,000 unique beers.
Oh, 1,000 unique.
Oh, unique.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Beers.
Can you like add them up yourself? Bud Light with lemon, Bud Light with whatever I want to put into it.
Yeah. I wouldn't drink 1,000 of these little puppies, that's for sure. Just
done a review of this from Buxton, the Origo.
Oh, that one.
The participant. I know some people would be pissed off that in a beer selection box they get 4 beers from the same brewery. But being the fact that I don't think I've actually had more than a handful's worth of Buxton beers, it was a very welcome addition, and every beer has been awesome.
Yeah, you seem like you got a good mix though. Like it wasn't like this core stuff.
No,
I've still got all these beers to go through. I think you've had quite a few of them.
I've pretty much finished it, aside from the Broken Dreams from Siren.
I've not started any of them yet, but I've had this gluten-free beer. I've had a fucking chili beer, and
what now?
And you've got all of those great beers.
Yeah, gluten-free.
What do you do?
And wheat-free.
Oh my!
I'm just getting these out of the way.
No.
I've still got a Foster's to drink as well to get out of the way.
Yeah, you got how many more Fosters to get out of the way? I got half a case.
No, the Fosters at some
I think
point.
it's just one. And they seem to be multiplying. Every time I go to the fridge, there's another one. It's like, fucking hell, I thought I'd done all them.
Now, I know we've been taught that pickles, and specifically garlic dill pickles, are awesome palate cleanser, but I think Foster's is next in line.
Well, got the macro review line coming up soon, so it's kind of like
unsubbed.
That'll be first on the list. I think it's going to be shit, or not quite schlitz, but it's going to be.
It's AB InBev week on Chem Beer Reviews.
Well, not week. Yeah, I might just get a regular slot for.
I was incredulous. It's not week, Peter. It's not that week. You're just going to do one every week for maybe like 3 months.
The Saturday night macro review hour or whatever, something stupid like that.
Excuse me, the Saturday night macro.
Yeah, or something like that. You know,
he literally fills an hour.
I might do just one live review per week on a Saturday evening, so all the revelers can tune in.
I'm pretty sure there's another beer tuber out there that has the market set on hour-long macro live reviews.
Yep.
Just saying.
Who's that?
Craig, you know who that is, Craig. Craig, you know who that is, Craig.
No idea.
Got it sewn up.
Yeah, well.
I want an hour-long macro review just to be this, so you just go. Just for an hour. Just a sip and then.
Another pint, mate. Yep.
Just an hour
drinking the same beer.
Because this seems like an excellent segment, no doubt. But like, is it a single beer that you're going to spend an hour on?
It might take an hour to drink it. Yeah,
That's on you. That
It's
is
a single
totally
beer,
fair.
but it's 24. It's the whole 24 pack in an hour.
Now I'll watch that. That would be entertaining.
Yeah, that would be fun.
stuff that.
It's gonna sell
But
it.
yeah, I mean, I'll have to see
Rex,
what's
was it?
happening.
Yeah, man.
What coconut stout are you drinking, Joe?
I am not drinking coconut stout, but I want to see the Foster's Gauntlet, just to be clear, on that Saturday night. So, like,
Jesus.
it's an older beer, Bell's 30th anniversary.
Oh.
Cool.
Oh.
It's packaged in
Bloody-
8/29/15. Oh my god, it's 2 years old.
Dong.
Bloody hell's
Well,
bells.
just a Friday afternoon beer for Joe.
Yeah, it's a while. Today I had to go to the dentist and I gave blood, and I'm like, just
I gave blood.
stout now. I gave
That's
blood.
a dentist.
I was like, I'm going to give you my blood.
What
Now
sort
I'm
of
going to
dentist
replace
is
it with
that?
alcohol.
Exactly. It's got some sugar.
I was like, hey, I want to stain my teeth now.
Nice.
Varnish.
It's pretty good.
Actually,
don't know how it
was
was
asking
fresh.
this earlier. Actually, I'm curious. Do you have a cellar of any distinction?
Who, me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I have about
Is-
320 beers or so.
What's your
Um,
setup? Have you got are these boxed up or you got racking or what?
Yeah, they're all boxed up. I mean, I kind of, because I'm an uber nerd. Also, I'm really dumb, and a lot of times I just forget what I have. So I have an Excel spreadsheet of each box, and when I drink something or pull it out, I just delete it, and it makes it much easier to, I don't know, keep track of stuff more so than not doing that. But I have, like, it's not one of the, like, it's not like Ryan Rashawn where he's like, oh, I got 73 parabolas and 47 Sucabas and all this stuff. Like,
Not anymore. Not anymore.
no, not anymore. I remember when he did those seller videos. I'm just sitting there like, really?
No,
Like 10
I
parabolas.
saw it. I saw it in person. It's quite
Yeah.
something. It just boxes of beer everywhere.
Did you consider like DDTing them and like taking a box for yourself back?
I had that day. It was ridiculous. It was such a long day. It was really fun, but it was such a long, drunken day.
He was
I
so
remember
tired
watching a
trying
bunch of
to
the
win his
reviews.
favour.
So what was that?
You were so tired trying to win his favour.
Oh no, Ryan's such a nice guy.
Yeah, right.
He wouldn't
I'm
do
still Ryan's one of the few guys that like posts once every 8 months now that I'm still subscribed to.
Yeah.
it.
And like when he posts a video, I'm like, he's reviewing a beer on camera. What's happening? It's usually
He's
someone
probably-
sending him
probably
Charles
old school.
Ross or somebody, right? But it's still cool.
Yeah, no, he's such a nice guy. He's Ryan. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like yes, he is the only. He's the remnants of the beer geek empire.
Oh yeah.
He's
I
the
don't know. I
only
have
one.
the Jameson. I don't have any idea. I know Dan stopped. I know Chris is, lonely at the top, and also
I
no
don't
longer.
know, indefinite hiatus. I presume.
Well, maybe he's hoping that he's no longer at the top when he comes back, and therefore he's no longer lonely. That's what I'm thinking. You know, if you set back into like the mid-range, people start talking to you again or something. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, no, he is. He's the last guy, and again, he posts so infrequently that it's like, he's usually like, Carl Strauss just sent me a bunch of beers and told me to review it, probably because I'm on their mailing list. But here we go, because he's on the homebrew side. He's doing really well and working.
Oh yeah, still really well.
Yeah.
So I was. None of you probably know it, but I was part of the Beer Geek Empire for a short period of time.
Oh my lord,
There's
that
probably like,
gives him
like two
street
videos
cred.
out there.
Mhm.
There's probably like 2 videos out there with the insignia at the start of it.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, that's
So-
part of the crew.
Are we gonna have a
Maybe-
behind the Beer Geek Nation like VH1 used to do?
Be
like a-
nation.
That would be fucking ace. Somebody needs to do that. Frank Jameson, like, that's what his business is. I'm not taking the piss. He's got a business cleaning pools. That's what Jameson does.
And there's a lot of swimming pools in America.
I have one.
It
You're
is.
correct, Peter.
You've got a pool.
I do.
Arizona, but you're in like Niagara, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm in Buffalo, so yeah, between Niagara Falls and Buffalo. What's great is I closed the pool in the middle of September, which you usually do around here because it was, not that warm. Probably
Cold
like,
as fuck.
it was like 15 Celsius or whatever, 15 to 7. It's like no one's going in the pool.
It's like over here, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, 3 straight days of like 30 plus. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. F you, weather. And then today, it's 60 Fahrenheit and raining. Great times. I'm glad I closed the pool. But I was upset 3 days ago. I'm sure. And then next week it's 80 again. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. It's closed. No pools.
That's it. Done. Yeah.
It's done. I'm not effing around anymore.
It's so humid down the southeast part of the UK at the moment. It's just ridiculous. It's really bloody hot. It's crazy. This time, yeah.
You know what they say for really, really hot weather? What's really good? An ice cold Foster's. That's what they say. Ice cold.
That's an idea. I might
get it. Put it in the freezer. Get some chunks in there.
Yeah, on ice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I might.
Do you know what I do drink quite a lot? Is Foster's Radler in the summer. Is pretty nice.
Right.
It is
Never
just
had
like
that one.
It's just lemonade. Like that is like 2.5%.
I'm partial to the Stiegel Radler's good times.
Oh,
I mean, it doesn't taste like beer in any way. It's like a soft drink.
Nope. No, it tastes like grapefruit juice that apparently has alcohol in it. I'm good to go.
I am a while ago because I get a lot of my beer delivered to work, and a couple of years ago now actually. I got to work after a couple of days off, and there's a box on my desk. And fantastic! What's this? There's a fucking four pack of Foster's Radler in it. What the fuck's this? So look on the delivery notice. It's from Ales by Mail. I'm like, what's this then? So I contact Ales by Mail. I'm like, why have you sent me a 4-pack of fucking Foster's Radler? What the fuck's going on here? And he's like, no, that's a delivery from like last November. What the fuck's going on here? Turns out, my mate in the office has found an old box that I've not thrown away with all the packing material in. Gone and bought a 4-pack of Foster's Radler. Waited for the time that I'm not at work. Taken that box, packed it up, resealed it, relabeled it, and left it on my desk.
Also, they know you so well.
Yes.
I didn't tell you and let you contact the company.
Yeah, he just sat there listening to me going like, what the fuck's this? Why have I sent a 4-pack of Foster's Radler?
Did you drink it?
No. I think he took it actually.
I mean, Jake over here is singing its praises. He's giving it like probably a 99.
Yeah, 99 for start, 99 overall.
No,
it's
overall.
Let's do the rate beer. 99 in style, 8 overall. That's how that works.
Yeah,
that was a rate beer. That was a rate beer style. Yeah.
It's great in the style, but nobody wants to drink it.
So, yeah. Does anyone actually still use that now that they're being owned by AB InBev?
I personally really never used it because their rating system is.
Used it.
No, but
I think I've actually been on rate beer about 3 times in my whole life.
I just think most people
use rate beer 3 times in your entire life, Jake.
Yeah,
I think most people use Untapped these days. It's more kind of easy.
Yeah,
is it to check that the score what Dead Metaphor's currently got?
Yeah,
he's trying to see what the Foster's. Trying to see what the Foster's rather brought to the table.
What's it on Untapped? What's that on Untapped? Because
Foster's Radler.
They're the one.
Yeah.
Your beer.
It's like a 3.6.
Really? I'm gonna say like a 3.6. I guess Jake wasn't lying.
What did I give? What did I give Foster's Radler on Untapped?
There you go. Best looking bottle of beer that has ever known.
It's all right.
Thank you
very much.
Mm-hmm.
Very much.
Yeah. Oh, I gave Foster's Radler a 2.25 on Untapped.
It's amazing.
I gave a double IPA that last night. My fit of
See?
anger.
You could buy 4 bottles of Foster's Rounder for £2.75.
There's a reason for that.
Exactly, it's hot. It's terrible, but it's like lemonade.
Yeah,
I can't describe it. It's not beer.
Lemonade's much cheaper than that. You can get 2 litres from Aldi for 17 pence.
Okay, so on Untapped, Dead Metaphor is it's out 2,129 ratings. It's coming in at 3.82.
3.82. Come on now.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's it.
I'd round that up to a 4 on average.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll take that one.
there's a lot of people drinking certain beers there just don't know what they're talking about. And, you know,
Fucking idiots. And
They're
also,
the-
I think I've checked it in about 20 times.
but they drag on their overall rating down because sometimes
Yeah.
I don't like stout. Have fucking
That's
wine.
what
I'm gonna have
these
it.
sites do.
Just settle down, Craig. Don't be
Nah.
so angry. Just settle down. I mean,
I don't care.
Dead Metaphor cannot be something like Foster's Radler, who gets a solid 2.57. I mean, that's a
Wow.
solid rating. Also,
Oh,
it seems to be available in a plastic bottle, which scares me, but it's in a plastic bottle. So maybe it is like a soda.
Oh,
I don't know what's
not in
happening.
England. Not in England. So
See,
well,
See, I didn't
You're not
know
living
that.
until you drink it out of a plastic bottle, Jake.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, we could get lemonade in a plastic bottle. But...
You can also get Foster's Radler in a plastic bottle, just not in the UK. So.
No,
I've
well,
had I've had
shit out a lot
cars in a
there.
plastic bowl, like gig venues and stuff.
mm.
I've had some 40 ounces in a plastic bottle. Malt liquor. No, I haven't.
Oh,
But I know
yeah.
they exist.
I've
You're
had
Who
vodka
was
from a
that
plastic
guy?
bottle.
Talking of,
That wasn't good.
talking of malt liquor, who was that guy who was on Jay's hangout about malt liquor?
Oh, yeah.
I've no idea.
Who put the
Yeah.
He's
He's a little crazy. Went a little crazy.
Was that what's his name? Sake.
His username ended in 69. I remember that.
Yeah.
He was absolutely golden. At one point, he started nowhere because they're all just chatting about.
I watched it. I watched it after the first 10 minutes.
About malt liquor, and he started nowhere. He's just going, Stone Cold Stunner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched. I think I missed the first 10 minutes, and then I started watching it.
I thought you were on it actually.
No,
You were on there. Yes, you were. Yes, you had a Foster's. You were jerking it.
No.
Watch it, and it wasn't just that lunatic.
I couldn't get the beer.
Harry might have been on it or something. Harry might have been on it.
Otherwise, I would have joined.
Totally.
He was wonderful.
Team player.
No idea what he's called, but
Yeah, he. I don't think he got invited back.
Moses was his name, wasn't it?
Moses.
Was it 69? What was?
Yeah,
Moses.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Just to piss off certain people with Moses and then 69 on top.
He was spicing up the chat. He was just spicing it up a little bit, you know.
Fucking that was brilliant.
Yeah,
and then he left. And it was like, and then like but I missed the first 10 minutes of the live bit, and then I carried on watching. They're reverting back to sorry about the start of this debate. I'm like, what the fuck happened there? So then I went back and watched it. I missed the whole 10-minute golden moment.
Okay, so but if you search for Moses 69, you do get some choice elements, but the video just so he's the third one on. He's the first channel.
You can play it. You know that, Rod, didn't it? Rod. Fucking hell. Yeah, I always do. It's ridiculous.
So first one is Most Love 69 farting compilation.
Nice.
It's on a channel called Gas Provider.
Yeah, he wore a mask though on that thing. I'm pretty sure he wore a gas mask. Yeah,
a gas provider. Oh man, what is that?
Yeah. So Craig, you're talking about that I can share this link. Then how can I do this?
If you go on the left-hand side,
Yeah.
And
Screen share.
yeah,
I'm going to share what I've got on my screen with you guys.
Yeah,
no,
I didn't expect you to. Craig feels like
Uh-huh.
everybody just is, clean cut over here. Drinking Fosters, like posh individuals. It's not happening,
well,
Craig.
Is that what you're
I
talking
thought
about?
it'd be okay.
Imagine Peter sharing his screen. Not happening. Just not happening.
Oh no.
Yeah, figure it out.
No, so
This is it.
if you screen share
I think this is
and then
it.
it's just but then click on your icon as well, so it keeps it on that page. So there you go, and then you just enlarge it.
So this is the dude that came on.
You
And,
don't even need sound.
No.
I love. What the
I think
hell's
you do.
going on?
I just like the name of the gas provider.
fast-
It's so good. Gas provider. I'm
Oh,
obsessed.
it's the inky one.
Gas provider.
That's the dude.
So this channel just goes around and like makes compilations of different people.
Look at them malt beverage. Look at this fucking.
Yeah, 1.6K.
I love. Look, is that I love.
Got to dance with a fart.
Oh, this is fantastic.
I love.
Oh,
is it,
you've
yeah,
got to wear sunglasses indoors as well.
I love liquor. T-shirt. Fucking hell,
Oh.
T-shirt, no less.
Moses loves 69 farting compilation. Only 7 downvotes. Some people
That's
are not happy with it.
Look at them bottles.
Maybe-
Fucking hell.
Maybe they weren't loud enough. I don't know.
Yeah. I
What kind of
tell you
critique
what-
did you give to him?
Also, one of the funniest things about this is when I hovered over Rob's name, it said HopZine is presenting to everybody.
HopZine is preventing gas provider. Gas.
I think you should. I think you should put that J thing on. That is.
So this guy just came in and basically went nuts for the first 20 minutes, and that was it.
Yeah, with like a mask on.
10 minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes.
It's worth a watch. Try and find this thing.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember what it
HopZine is no longer presenting.
Rob finally decides to present something, and that's what he presented.
I'm gonna find you. What was it? Malt liquor. How would Jay kind of title it? Malt liquor investigation.
Examination.
Yeah, examinations.
You could investigate.
I don't know what the hell.
It's all the same.
We're doing a malt liquor investigation right now.
That's true.
Oh,
Well, I got sent a brochure from 1997. I couldn't look in that.
no, it's not.
Nice.
Be a part of-
my bird.
Part of
I
gas
can't find
provider
it.
channel.
God
Yeah,
damn it.
that'll be the HopZine compilation.
But I'm sure they picked up a lot of subscribers. We've lost about 5 viewers from that, I think.
Oh well.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry.
Yeah, watching
Those people have no idea what they're missing right now.
Sorry,
None.
having fun.
So do you know? I've got a brilliant. I see. I'm found a new toy now, and I know I can share these things. Do you know? There's no way to go from here. And the initials are CP.
Oh, God.
I think we've got to educate the world.
You should.
Hang on. Hold you on the phone. He's up.
Let me just.
What's the newest
He's
fruit
up
that you learned
he's up to
about?
400 videos.
Mimosa?
You know.
Bubba?
So Chris,
I'm pretty
Chris
sure he
Peterson-
tells us in every reviews because he is a a connoisseur of the craft beer.
Connoisseur and an entrepreneur.
Connoisseur, entrepreneur.
Just
Heavy
took him
metal
into this
reviewer.
classic.
That's on you, Peter. Totally on you.
Well,
Is that the nitro can or is that a actual
no,
bottle?
that's just a bottle.
Not that it matters. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be doing this with Dean tomorrow, so hopefully I can pick up another bottle.
Wait, what?
I tried.
What is hopefully stuff?
I tried to find that today, actually, Peter. And they've sold through of them beers. What they done a couple of weeks ago.
Is
You
Is
should
this
be able to get it in Waitrose, I reckon, Craig.
Oh, I'll have to go and have a look.
is this 2017? We have Peter hoping he can find another bottle of Young's Double Chocolate
You'll
Stout.
be surprised at how hard it got.
And Craig's upset about it though. Craig's like, I looked everywhere, can't find it. It's Young's Double Chocolate Stout. Settle down, Craig.
I know.
You get it?
Fairness, I did have a review of it tomorrow. I switched it to the Sunday
Oh boy, I'll be looking forward to that.
because I'm a nice guy.
You don't
You
have
are.
to, though, Craig, but I appreciate that.
No, I didn't. Don't worry. Sorry.
You knocked it up anyway. a minute before Peter goes live tomorrow, Craig just goes.
Yeah. Do.
No, it's weird how that works. It's like I think I planned it about a week ago. I reviewed it about 3 weeks ago, and then planned it for that day. So I'm doing this. I was like, so I moved it forward a day. So
Craig, next Wednesday on Lee's channel, Facts 10%.
No chance.
That's what I'm hoping I can say to them, but I feel like I'm going to find it.
Yeah.
No chance. No.
And then Lee
waiting
blurted it out, and I was like, "Are you serious right now?" Because it's like, "Yeah, I saw it in I saw my local NSL scene. I just thought," and I was like, "You should have stopped thinking right about that because we can do macros, but I don't know about no facts 10%. That's not ideal."
I mean, whenever you come to do the Murphys, that's a easy getter.
Yeah. There's a lot though. Like when it comes to macros, because Lee's been mentioning, it's like, if we do a lot of them, we're gonna run out. I'm like, you have no, like, there's a lot of things.
There's a
people can get,
lot.
like years worth, especially when it comes to the macros. Like we can be here for a long time. He's like, I guess you're right. And I'm like, why did you bring up facts 10%? Facts 10% can happen in 2019. Like I'm good not doing it right now. But he was all about it, and everyone else was all about it, and I'm like, fuck you guys. But I guess I'll try to pick it up.
Yeah, I still watch and all that sort of carry on, but
That's on you
nah.
because
Yeah, the
I wouldn't
rerun.
watch.
The rerun.
No, don't even watch
The rerun.
It's going to be probably 3 people potentially vomiting. At least 3, I'm going to say, out of the panel. And then the rest of them making weird faces. If someone's like, oh, yeah, this is a good beer, I might try to punch them through the internet if possible. Because I don't think anyone's going to be like, hey, this is a great beer, or even good, or tolerable. It's no Foster's, let's be clear.
What
Certainly
is?
not the rather. Facts 10%.
Fuck that.
Yes,
Was that what
Rob!
Harry had? Was that the crazy big can that Harry had?
Yeah.
Yes. And Lee Russell was like, that's what we're gonna do for our next anal Weises. He's like, let's do facts 10%. I'm like,
Anal vice.
yeah, it's an anal Weises.
I missed that. I just heard the anal and then it cut
Yeah.
off.
Well,
Anal vice.
yeah, we're doing an
right,
anal
okay.
Weiss. It's a new
Okay.
German style that involves.
No, that was a very unfortunate cut off.
Is Peter having breakfast?
It's a chickpea and potato curry.
Oh,
thought
man,
you
that sounds nice.
Nice.
to be
Love it.
To be fair, he did not indicate whether that is breakfast or not. Though
Yeah.
he just told you what.
Curry
It's
for
just a
breakfast
meal.
is just the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
Curry for breakfast is just so good.
When you're drinking Young's double chocolate stout, perfect pairing.
It was from this morning. His curry from this morning.
Yeah, so it's
Eating
a
it now.
It started off as
morning,
breakfast.
morning
So
curry.
it's marinated quite well.
I think last hangout I was on, I was eating a curry in bed.
Yeah.
And
Was
then,
that the Beavertown thing?
Yeah.
Then? When you were on
and then my
the,
internet just cut out. I think I got to the limit, my free limit, and then I couldn't get back on the internet.
Was that when you were at
You're
the
living it up.
festival in
Yeah.
your hotel? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
happened.
living
You
it up.
just left. You were gone.
that was good.
on the
Getting
room
room service.
service?
Yeah.
Jake wants to tell us his internet cut off, but he just wanted to enjoy the shit out of some curry.
Can of punk curry.
Yeah, 685.
Not bothered.
Oh,
Actually,
I was starving by that point, and
So we haven't spoken since. So how was the second day, your full day of drinking at the festival?
oh god, it was unreal. Just sort of the beer, like the best thing about it was discovering all these beers from breweries that I had no sort of interest in. So like Bellwoods, for example, like their beers were amazing. Like Bellwoods were like crazy. It was like they had like their shut like was it? I can't remember what it was called now. Something Shark IPA.
Which Shark?
Yeah, that was like incredible. Even like even Duggars to a certain extent. Duggars was probably their Cacao Speyside was probably my favorite beer of the whole 2 days. It was crazy. So that was the best. Obviously, like it was good to drink like Speedway Stout and Vietnamese Speedway Stout and all the like Trillium stuff and that. But it was the breweries like Gers Tilquin, like all their stuff, and that was incredible. So it was like you could, because everyone like moaned that the big breweries ran out of beer like quickly, but it just meant you just discovered all this stuff that you probably weren't even interested in having in the first place, which was actually really good.
Yeah, I'm surprised personally by Bellwoods, just because Bellwoods is not a huge brewery. They opened up their second location in Toronto, and but you know, obviously they're overseas, and then they just did a collaboration, I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago with Trillium, and they made a Street Shark, which is, you know, part of the street thing Trillium does, and then, you know, they do Witch Shark, they do their Milk Shark, which is their
lactose. It was Milk Shark.
Oh, it's Milk Shark. Okay, yeah. Okay, Milk Shark. They say again, they do a lot of the sharks, but now like seeing them kind of explode, they're doing an actual festival later this month or maybe next month. Forget exactly when it is. It's soon, called Witchstock, where they're doing just a brewery with a bunch. They invited, I think Cloudwater's going to be there, Trillium, a bunch of places, and it's like they're starting to blow up. Kind of disappointing for me because I'm a selfish dick, but it's cool to see them getting a lot of, you know, a lot of I guess acclaim nationally even at this point, because it's like they make really good beer, and when people think of Canadian beer, they don't think of like awesome New England style, awesome big barrel aged style, awesome sour, like the whole nine with everything's hype nowadays, but they make awesome beer. So it's cool to see them get, you know, some good play across the US and now even overseas. So that's awesome. I'm happy. Cool. I'm not even Canadian. I'm happy. It's good times.
Yeah, it was the one they had on was double dry hop vanilla milk shark, and that was one of the best beers I had across the 2 days. It was really good.
It's funny because they did a drastic change probably in the last 6 months to a year where they've had a lot of the same beers, just, you know, they did like their regular Witch Sharks, just like a West Coast style IPA, and they did Jutsu, which is their American Pale Ale. And then all of a sudden, it was just everything was like New England style out of nowhere, which was crazy. Everything was murky, turbid, the whole nine, juicy. You know, the mouthfeel was, you know, proper and stuff. And I'm just like, I've never seen a brewery just take like their base recipes of a beer they've had for years and just all of a sudden just change it and nobody really be upset about it because they're like, this is now actually even better somehow. Yeah. So
that's kind of what Cloudwater did, to be honest. I mean,
same thing.
Went from being from kind of like, well, they were never a very static kind of like brewery in that sense. They were always a very, they always try to react to kind of like trends and stuff. But they went from being like what everybody else was doing, slightly hazy, kind of hopped up here, but then now being like, kind of just like kind of like central, like unrelenting, even to the detriment sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But,
well, it's good to follow trends that are popular, right? Because I mean that they're popular for a reason, but you also have to do them properly and not. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just it can't be cloudy and turbid in New England. Say call yourself New England style. It still has to be really good. You know, I mean, you just can't be based on what the beer looks like or what you're calling it. And I feel like a lot of U.S. breweries just run behind like, here's our New England style IPA, or here's our NEIPA, but they're not really brewing it properly to the style like a lot of the well-made ones do. And you see that it's like, okay, look, yeah, it looks like juice. That's awesome. How does it taste? How's the mouthfeel? Is it good? Because that's what matters, not what it looks like. Although, you know, it's nice that it looks like juice, but if it's not good, who cares?
Yeah.
But for me, one of the things that concerns me a little bit about this, because it's become a little bit of an all consuming kind of like trend, really, is that that's all we get at the moment. We just get murky IPA, and I don't think there's enough kind of like knowledge about how you do that style very well.
Yeah,
especially
Just pump it out.
Yeah,
just
fucking everybody's. And there's responsibility for the people who kind of lead the trend to do a really good job of it, because everybody else is just like a slightly inferior version of what you're doing.
Yep.
So
I just want to be with the in crowd. They're just brewing it.
Yeah.
Maybe for the wrong reasons.
Everybody wants a hazy, a murky IPA in a can.
Yeah, everybody wants to look like they're drinking juice, and everyone wants to think that it's going to be awesome because of how it looks. But like, there are as many mediocre New England style pale ales and IPAs and double IPAs that there are awesome ones, and that's the unfortunate thing, is because so many people jump on the bandwagon, but they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah. They just want to be the in crowd, kind of the scene. But
especially within like the UK kind of like craft beer. I mean, I don't know. I can't think of many kind of like IPAs that you can get which aren't kind of hazy. This what I've got is at the moment isn't massively. It's not. I won't say murky. It's more hazy. So it's a step in the right direction. But I mean, there's not many you can think. I'll get that, and it's not going to be murky. Especially as far as like interesting kind of like new releases.
Yeah, I think Buxton. Don't go for the ultra murk, like craziness, like others strive for. I think their beers are like more naturally hazy.
Yeah.
Well, what's going to happen with Buxton now? Because I mean, Collins left.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
I don't know if their brewery is going to be anymore. So Collins will be in post at North Monk at some point. He had a really bad injury. You probably don't know about it.
Was that?
He had a really bad injury at work. So go on.
No, sorry.
So Colin Strong, who was the head brewer at Buxton, second head brewer. So it was JK, who's currently in Marble. But I mean, over the last like 4 years, it's been Colin. Colin's ace is such a lovely guy. But yes, he had a really bad injury at work maybe about a month ago, where he's been massively badly burnt.
Bloody hell.
From boiling, I presume, from boiling beer. And he's been laid up in hospital for a week with fucking like inflated kind of like braces on him and stuff, and he's fully bandaged up and all that kind of business. Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'll have to show you some of it.
Yeah, just as I'm getting into Buxton.
Yeah, so Cole's left. So Cole's leaving, and he's going to be. So Dave, who was lead production brewer at North Monk, has moved up to Wylam because he's from up that way up in the kind of Newcastle area. So Dave's gone up there. So Colin,
another great brewer.
Yeah. I mean, I think they'll get better. I think they'll be better for Dave being there. Dave did a really good job at North Monk. So Brian still is head brewer at North Monk, but Cole will take over, and especially the kind of barrel aging thing, because Brian doesn't have the experience of barrel aging. What Colin does.
Brian, you say Brian's moving to Wylam?
No, Dave's moved it to Wylam.
Oh,
so Brian, who was essentially the proper first head brewer.
Yeah.
It will still be. But yeah, Cole's been brought on. Brian just doesn't have that barreling experience. So what he's done at Buxton and Marble and everywhere he's worked. So yeah, I think there'll be a real up with what Northern Monk do, because Cole's is one of the best around. He really is, and he's such a. If you want to see a really good interview, I think it's probably on Simon's channel. Look for Colin Strong. That's Strong with an E on the end, which is primarily conducted by myself. It's a really good interview.
Cheap plug, but not really that cheap. But kind of cheap, but not really that cheap.
No, it's for someone else's channel.
It's free.
Multiple segues from Rob. Multiple segues from Rob. First into what the Buxton thing, into what Peter.
But Colin is one of the most. He's the most lovely people you'll ever meet. He's one of the best brewers in the world. And
he seems so well respected by everybody.
yes,
Yeah.
everybody loves him. Everybody's very well respected, very liked, humble, talented.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's such a cool guy, Cole. What a guy. But yeah, so that's gonna. I think that'll change. That'll change a lot. I think you'll start noticing that about Northern Monk in the next like 4 months or something. You'll be like, fucking hell.
It's terrible to
Happens
hear
in
about
Northern
something
Monk.
like that, though. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, well,
crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened. He's not like saying too much because I've known him for years, so you kind of like get a bit here and there on Facebook, but then it's like, fuck, what happened to you? I had an accident at work.
Is that why he's leaving Buxton then, or he just wants to move on? Like,
he'd
it's
left
not.
it. I don't know. I don't know what. I had spoken to him, especially.
Do you have an accident at work? It's not your fault.
See, they're like, no, I really don't think that's the reason why he left. I think he was leaving.
Yeah.
He's been leaving for a while, from what I hear.
Right.
But Buxton but then interestingly, the Buxton started advertising for a load of new staff because they've expanded.
Yeah.
They've got like that
for a
sort
while.
of tap room that's being built into the brewery, don't they?
That tap room has been open for ages.
Is this Northern Monk?
No.
I was talking to Dennis, who's brewery manager, about that in April, and he was like, "Yeah, we've got this tap room. We've had it for ages. We just don't have anybody to staff it at the moment. There's like 8 people who work for Buxton, and then brewing with Omnipolo and shipping worldwide."
Yeah, because they've pretty much got all that Sunday stuff, haven't they, at the Indie Man this year?
We've got some of the ice cream beers, yeah, on soft serve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what I think about that stuff.
I had some at the Beavertown thing. It was. I just got it just because I wanted to try it. I mean, it
I had
didn't.
one in Copenhagen.
It didn't. I just didn't really think much of it. Good or bad, if you know what I mean. It was like, well, someone just put a load of ice cream in my beer
with marshmallows.
Yeah, I didn't get the marshmallow treatment. It was just the ice cream.
That's what makes the difference.
Yeah, exactly. There's roasted. That did look good. There's roasted marshmallows.
I was speaking to a guy who went to the thing on the Saturday, and a lot of things were sold out on the Saturday.
At the Beavertown thing.
Yeah.
All the big breweries. They went by sort of like 6 o'clock-ish sort of thing.
Yeah, no, I was saying to him because mentioned that he was working for McCalabar. Did you?
Yeah.
Yours run out about 3 o'clock on the first day?
No, so our first keg we kicked at 3 o'clock on the first day, and the thing wasn't supposed to open until 3 o'clock because they let everyone in early because they were like pissing it down.
Right.
Yeah,
I thought it started at like noon. I thought it started at like 12.
No, the Friday was like 3 o'clock, and then the next day
Saturday
was like 1. Saturday was 12 or what, I can't remember now.
I was talking to people earlier about this. I think next year, I bet they'll go the same as Copenhagen, where they do 2 sessions per day.
There was never any like the queuing wasn't like the queues were bad initially, but then they just died off. Omnipolo and Trillium seemed to be bad. Yeah, exactly, and then all the beer ran out, and then everyone dispersed it, sort of thing. But I thought it was brilliant. Like even though I got it for free, I would have paid for that experience, sort of thing. It was good.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that rushed to when I opened. They just rushed to Trillium, and then people standing in the queue, and then their mates were going to get beers from elsewhere, bringing them back while having the beer in the queue.
That's what we were doing. Sort of like
I heard about people standing in queue for example, and that say they had or something like that, and then just buy it, they get one and tip it away because the one that was going on after, because they wanted the double IPA, what wasn't supposed to be on after, so they queued up again and dumping it.
No, yeah, well, that's the thing. It was like there's only 2 beers on at each stand, so you queue up, and you can obviously look ahead and then get in the queue. But I mean, I was on the Saturday. I was the last pour of Zombie Dust from Free Floyd's, and like, so I had like about 30 people behind me just go like, yeah, and I was like,
Superb.
yeah. But it's just how it goes. It's like like there's no way, even at 55 quid a ticket, there's no way they can bring that much beer so everybody gets a pour of everything.
Yeah.
It's madness to think that the popular stuff's going to go fast. That's just how it is.
There was a bunch of that kind of like thing going on at Copenhagen. So they were like, so Boca Rider, Omnipollo, some stuff from Free Floyd's. That was a kind of what I sold out quite quickly, but not much. Was kind of like Boca Rider was a big one. People were just going fucking nuts for it. Massive queue.
Yeah,
once it was gone, it was gone.
Cloud brought up the Burton Ale and all that.
I did.
Yeah,
chat to Paul, but they got sold out by the time we got over there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why they launched it.
It didn't feel like that I've been kind of like shortchanged because the sessions are like 4 hours, both Beavertown ones, which are like about 10. 8 hours maybe the session, 8 or 10 hour session.
8 hours. 8 hours, yeah.
God, that's ridiculous.
If you're in a 4 hour session and you get in there and okay, Boca Rider, we've got X amount, you queue 45 minutes, you'll get a pour. If you queue for an hour, you'll probably miss out. Beyond those, you probably could walk around and go to Fontaflora or Amabroig House or Mikkola or Crooked Stave or
War Pigs or something.
Yeah, Cascade or 18th Street or Taul or Magic Rock or Colonel or whoever. You're essentially guaranteed to get something from everybody.
Exactly.
Maybe
that's the tactic I went with.
Yeah, I mean, first beer when I walked into Copenhagen Beer Celebration was Cellarmaker, and I heard from numerous people that Cellarmaker weren't busy. Cellarmaker are fucking amazing.
Cellarmaker were like ridiculous at Beavertown. They sold out quick.
Really?
I think like word got round. Yeah.
Oh, see, that's it. See, that's fun though. When word gets round, that's something's really good. That's good, but it's the whole like, well, it's the expected. Or better get in the queue for a bit of Free Floyds or a bit of Polo or Trillium.
Yeah, you've got to try if you can. If the queues are too mental, then which they generally are, then that's where's the lowest queue and get one of them.
I sort of thought like I looked at the beer list and I was like, there's loads of beers I want to try. I'm just gonna see what I can get on the day. There's no point.
Yeah.
When I was working on the Mikella bar, the one everyone wanted to try was the last beer we were putting on. And we kept telling people throughout the day, they'd come to the side and say, oh, when you put in that on. And so you just must be like wasting your whole time just going around asking when beers are coming on rather than just trying beers sort of thing. Just if you miss it, like you've missed it, just get something else equally as good. Like, that was my thinking behind it. It's obviously, you want those like.
That was my approach. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna have to clear off, and as we're down to one viewer, whoever you are, God bless you, you wonderful person.
That's me.
Because you've watched us for like 3 hours, your life will be much better.
Healing
Thank you very much.
They say watching us.
Thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much, my brethren, for joining us for this evening. I'm fucking knackered. My face didn't show before. It fucking does now. Anyway, as I like to say on Periscope, check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Big